March 16th, 2018. Even though I am not done with my treatment, I still consider myself a breast cancer survivor. From the beginning, my goals have been to live a normal life while kicking cancer to the curb and educate family and friends about breast cancer. I even started a blog to help accomplish this goal. Cancer is tough, but I am tougher.
Ball game and a track meet broke out.
Absolutely, and they're big plays, long drives, and what 80, 90 points scored between the two teams, give or take. And yeah, and we've seen the potential output of the St. Louis Crusaders offense. They're scoring phenomenon again this year, and very few blips on their schedule in terms of not putting up 3-4 touchdowns.
When we come back on the pregame show, we'll kind of help set the scene for tonight's Big Four conference battle here in Fortuna between St. Bernard's and Fortuna. And we'll be back with more on the pregame show right after this 2-minute timeout. Perfect. Thank you, Charlie. Hi, Doug. What's up, brother? How are you doing? Good, man. How are you doing? You guys all set down there? Perfect. Did you tell Chuck you got some VIP parking tonight? You know people here in Fortuna?
I did.
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing, man?
Good.
Like I said, hey, there's candy in here. There's apples over here.
You're making my diabetes scream at me.
Apples right off the old man's tree. I just picked them. They're delicious. You need a little snack. I know. I'll bring you one on Monday.
I love it.
If I ever get in there on time. Good for you.
They got less than 30 people suited up too.
You were telling me about that, yeah. Keep track of the coin toss. Hey, what's Fairfield update? Is he in uniform?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Welcome
Gonna play
to
on offense?
Husky Field, home to the defending state champion Fortuna
So the only
Huskies.
person out that's small with that.
He's actually
Tonight, your Huskies play host
What's
to
that?
the St.
He's actually
Bernard
faster.
Crusaders.
Yeah.
Captains for the Crusaders, number 25, Caden Gordon, and number
tape on his ankle
75,
there.
Connor Chase. Captains for the Huskies, number 11, Zach Claus, number 21, Joey Pontus, number 32, Adam Medeiros, and number 52, Shaden Cadle.
How bad is Providence Navy?
Not good. They're all out indefinitely. I see that, yeah. Exactly. They need to keep it up. I want to just sit at home tomorrow night and enjoy a Game 7.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be great.
Especially if the Dodgers lose.
Yes.
Jeez. Do you remember when that happened, the Notre Dame game? That guy was throwing them. I don't think it was one of those. It was on like one of the scaffolding.
Okay, thanks.
things, and the wind came up and blew him over and killed the kid. That's probably a much. It was at practice, yeah. It was at practice. That was a lot less stable than this is a lot, but I'm still really nervous.
Fortuna
So
deferred.
you have to drive
Okay.
across with this truck or something.
Let me give a
Drink the ball. Somebody like me.
For you baseball fans, we can let you know that back in Milwaukee, the Brewers lead the Dodgers 4-1. I think that game is in the third inning. And the captain's out at midfield along with the officials. Coach, tell us what happened
Fortuna
with the
wins
coin
the
toss.
Fortuna win. Huskies win the toss, and they defer to the second half. So St. Bernard's will receive the kick to start the ball game here, and Fortuna will receive to begin the second half.
Okay, the color guard now is going to be making their way. They are standing on the St. Bernard side of the field, and that's the Veterans Color Guard, American Legion Post 205, VFW Post 2207, and the crew working tonight's game.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I
The
have
color
your
guard
attention,
consisting of
please?
Curtis Lindley, Bill
At the center
Hummel,
of the field
Art
is our
Bruga,
Veterans Color Guard,
Mike Voigt,
American Legion Post
Bill Stoltz,
205,
Dean Glazier, Lauren
Veteran
Martin,
Forward
and
War
Mike
Post
Campbell. So they will be
2207, represented
walking
by Curtis
out
Lindley, Bill
onto the
Hummel,
football
Art
field,
Bruga,
and then the Fortuna
Mike Voigt,
marching
Dean
band
Glazier,
will be
and
playing
Mike
our national
Campbell.
anthem.
If you would
The
please
Huskies with their
stand
2
and remove your hats
remaining
for our
regular
national
season
anthem.
games here at home. Next Friday night they'll be hosting Eureka, and now let's join with the playing of our national anthem. Fortuna band, as always, doing a nice job. Let's take a quick look at the injury report for the Crusaders, who ended up getting very banged up against Eureka last Saturday night. Out tonight with a concussion is freshman linebacker Jacob Smallwood. Tolly Finoti and Connor Chase, who both got hurt in the Eureka game, along with Luke Fairfield, they are all going to be in uniform tonight. So good news for head coach Matt Tomlin and the Crusaders. The only player out tonight is Smallwood. A different story for the Huskies tonight. Fortuna is going to be without the services of sophomore Levi Nyberg, sophomore Branson Gans, and senior Micah Pronovost. Also out tonight, junior David Reese. Nyberg out with a leg injury, Gans out with a concussion, and Pronovost out with a knee injury. And those are key players for Fortuna, with Nyberg, Gans, and Pronovost not being in uniform tonight.
Right, a lot of those guys play both sides of the football, and Pronovost, plugging up the middle of that defense.
So Adelano's kick is going to be taken at the 15-yard line, and it's taken by Hagler, who's off to the races. He's got one man to beat, and that is the kicker. He bounces off the kicker at about the 40-yard line before being brought down near the 30-yard line. So a big special teams play by St. Bernard's on the opening kickoff, as Hagler takes the kick at the 15 and returns it to the 30-yard line, a 55-yard kickoff return.
Yeah, we saw this last week a little bit against Crescent City, too. A couple of big returns on kickoff plays against the Huskies, and St. Bernard's found a nice hole right in the middle of the field and exploited it. And Adelano doing a good job of stopping a score on that play.
At least just kind of slowing him down so he could get some help. And Omey at quarterback is going to fake the handoff to Hagler and keep it himself, and he's going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Read option play, and Omey keeps, and Huskies front three were not
Cale and Valenzuela in on the tackle. Empty backfield, trips to the right. Going to be 2nd and 10 for the Crusaders at the Fortuna 30. Fortuna shows blitz, and they do, as they dump it off to Hagler out in the flat, and Hagler's inside the 25 before being brought down at the 22-yard line, about 2 yards short of a first down.
Fortuna showing good pressure, but wasted no time getting rid of the football that time for a nice gain, and now it's going to be 3rd and short, so they've got a little more variety of what they can call out of their playbook here.
Going to be 3rd and a long one as the Crusaders huddle up and now break the huddle. Now they've got that jumbo formation to the right with Omey at quarterback. In motion to the right, Omey's going to keep it himself, and he's got the first down as he's inside the 20 and finally brought down at the 14-yard line, a gain of 7 and a St. Bernard's first down.
Yeah, huge hole opened up on the right side of the offense there with that bunch formation. It wasn't quite that 3-man bunch we've seen before, but they did motion another wing over into that 3-man bunch, and but Omey kept and ran right behind and got a nice gain.
Medeiros in on the tackle. Fairfield checks out. Simone checks in. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Crusaders just inside the 15. That's Simone in motion to the right. Omey wants to throw, looks into the end zone, has a man open, and the pass is incomplete. It was intended for Thrapp, who had a step on Taylor, and Thrapp tried to make a diving catch, but was unable to make the play.
Yeah, coverage had a little bit of an inside angle there, but the ball was catchable and just didn't quite connect.
Clock stops with 10:16 remaining in the first quarter. No score between St. Bernard's and Fortuna. First drive of the game. Going to be 2nd and 10. Omey back to pass again now. Will scramble, and he is going to be sacked. So Cato, the first player to get to Omey, along with Valenzuela, will sack him for a 2-yard loss.
Coming from that middle linebacker position where it looks like he's been playing going to be playing tonight, taking Pronovo's spot.
You see Pronovost on the sidelines with his jersey on and with a big brace on that right knee. You can hear Coach Tomlin shouting out instructions from the far side of the field. Going to be 3rd and 12, empty backfield. Omey back to pass, looks across the middle, dumps it off to Hagler, who makes the catch and is into the end zone for the touchdown. So Hagler was able to get inside of the defender on the play, cornerback Kobe Letter, and that was a nice throw by Omey, and St. Bernard's is on the scoreboard first.
Yeah, short post pattern from the slot position there, and he was, he was open. The linebackers came on that play and kind of opened up the middle underneath and threw the ball right where nobody was. So nice play and good scouting, I would argue, by the St. Bernard's coaches, and put it in the end zone.
Interesting chess match with the two head coaches tonight. Matt Tomlin, who's also the offensive coordinator, the St. Bernard's head coach, and then Fortuna head coach and defensive coordinator Mike Benbow trying to match wits with Coach Tomlin, and the extra point by Thrapp is good. We'll take a break of the action with 9:28 remaining in the first quarter. Our score, St. Bernard's 7, Fortuna nothing, and we'll be back with more right after this 60-second timeout. Perfect. Thank you, Charlie. Everything's going to be moving. Everything's going to be moving pretty fast tonight. 5-1. That's good. 6 plays, 30 yards, 16-yard pass. Omey to Hagler.
Milwaukee's 5-1.
Yeah, Brewers are at 5-1.
I haven't watched a single game.
And we'll be playing Boston.
I don't even, I could do
We've
it.
got 7. Come over anytime you want.
I just gotta put the box on.
I even started a fire in the main.
Set to kick for the Crusaders, number 23, Lee
I
Pratt.
don't really care.
Back to receive for the Huskies, number 31, Dre Boyd.
So St. Bernard's jumps out to a 7-0 lead. 16-yard touchdown pass from Omey to Hagler. Omey with his 19th touchdown pass of the season. Hagler scoring his 7th touchdown, and Thrapp this time is going to kick this one away. Fortuna was expecting an onside kick, but the kick by Thrapp is going to roll out of bounds at about the 25-yard line, Coach.
Yeah, one of the questions I asked Coach Tomlin last week after giving Eureka such a great field position on all these onside kicks that St. Bernard's couldn't, jump on, because Eureka did a good job of covering the ball. So I think teams now know they've got their hands team out there assuming an onside kick every time. Tonight they kicked away a little bit, a bit of a squib kick. It went out of bounds. So Fortuna's got the ball around the 35, which is much worse position than Eureka had in most of the kickoffs last week.
Numbers on that scoring drive, 6 plays, 30 yards after that nice kickoff return. That 55-yard kickoff return by Hagler, and on first down they're going to pitch it to
Number
Pontes.
21, Joey
And Pontes is going to pick up 5 yards out to the 40-yard line as Fortuna comes out in the double wing.
Yeah, breaking out the old toss offense there from Coach Tapp's days, and a little toss and a bunch of lead blockers and a 5-yard gain.
And that's exactly what Fortuna's doing now with Johnson at tight end. They've got the 2 tight ends, and this time it's going to be an inside handoff. And the ball carrier for the Huskies is once again Pontes, and he's going to be stopped about a yard short of a first down at the 44-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd and 1.
Back to the veer on that play, and
Gordon on the tackle
the dive
for the
open
Crusaders.
and picked up another 4. Fortuna hasn't had much trouble moving the ball against whoever they play. And now with all these additional sets and formations, they're throwing a few wrenches into the works here.
Pontes lines up as a wingback. Now he moves into the backfield. They're going to pitch it to him, and he is going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage. He originally was hit by number 66, defensive tackle Lucindo Gable, who tackles Pontes for a loss.
Yeah, he got right in the hip pocket of a pulling guard in that play and caught the back in the backfield for a loss. And outstanding defensive play from his right defensive tackle position.
Sancho checks out, Gage checks in. So it's going to be 4th and a long 2 for the Huskies. And Fortuna with their starting offense still on the field. And Claus this time is going to run the option. And Claus running over that right side is going to be hit very close to the marker. And depending on that all-important spot, he's going to be very close to a first down. And you can see that over on the far side of the field, based on the reaction we're getting.
Whoa!
And Roland Treeherd says first down.
What the hell? It's like behind the line.
Yeah, that looks
Ball
short.
spot
Well,
is
for a
left
spot,
near
Because the
45
marker's
yard
on the
line.
other side of the
Exactly.
On the other side.
Exactly. So, wow.
Didn't even call for a measurement. That's,
Didn't even call for a measurement. The ball is short of the 45, and the down marker is on the other side of the 45.
Yeah, huge break
And
for the
Fortuna
Huskies
quickly
there.
hustles up to the line of scrimmage. And Claus running the option, has some
Number
running
11,
room,
Zach
is
Claus
across
on the
midfield,
quarterback.
and he's
Keith
finally
goes
brought
down
down
by
at the 46.
10,
That is
Will
inexcusable
Omey.
for there not to be a measurement.
Yeah, that
it's
ball
as
was
simple as that.
way too close, and Fortuna played it smart. They ran up and snapped the ball,
Behind the line.
and I got to call the officials on that one. That one, how do you not come out and
And
measure?
at least have a measurement.
Yeah, I mean, the naked eye showed it short from up here.
So that's a second down, but the other one.
So it's going to be 2nd and 1, and this time they're going to pitch the ball, and the ball carrier is Lorenzo,
Number 22,
and he's got more than
Travis
enough for a
Lorenzo,
first
the
down
ball carrier
before
for
being
the
brought
Huskies.
down at the 39-yard line.
Number
A
12,
gain of
Logan
7
Samani.
and a Husky first down.
Good for a first down for the Huskies.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe, of course, they had already picked the ball up and moved it back to the hash from where they called first down, maybe calling timeout, but they had lost the spot. So
No, they even went and replaced it on the
First
other
and
side.
10 at the 39. Claus back to pass, being pressured, and he is going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage by number 99, Josh Daniels. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, whether it would be worth it for St. Bernard's head coach Matt Tomlin to maybe call a timeout.
yeah, or simply ask for a measurement. But they had picked the ball up and moved it, so they lost the original spot already, moving it out back into the hatch.
Going to look forward to getting an explanation from Roland on that one. They're going to pitch it to Lorenzo. And Lorenzo running over that left side is going to pick up a couple yards before being upended by Thrapp and Cole
Wrap
Patricia.
on the tackle for the
Burns
Crusaders.
defense doing a pretty
Short
good
gain on
job
the play will
in
bring
the
up
last
third
couple
down
of
for the
plays here,
Huskies.
stopping the Huskies short of where they want to be.
Fortuna making a lot of substitutions on offense as Sancho and Maderos both check back in. It's going to be 3rd and 8 for the Huskies. Fortuna with the ball at the St. Bernard's 38. Claus quickly up the line of scrimmage, inside handoff, and he's going to hand the ball off
23, Jason Basansky,
to
the ball
Jason
carrier.
Basansony. And
Gain of 5
Basansony
yards
is
on the play,
inside the
brought down by
35
number
to about the
66,
33,
Gable.
where he will be
Bring
4
up
yards
fourth
short of a
for the
first down.
Huskies.
Yeah, 4th and 4. We'll see what the Huskies can dial up here. But those first 2 plays in this drive, St. Bernard's D did a good job of holding them down to about 1.5 yards a play there.
First quarter moving right along, approaching the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. And Claus back to pass on 4th down. He is being pressured. Hagler's putting pressure on him, and he's able to avoid the sack. And then he ends up throwing a pass downfield that's deflected by Hagler. So the St. Bernard's offense will take over on downs after their defense stops the Huskies.
Yeah,
Well, he had the ball.
tenacity. That's how I would define that particular play by Hagler. He got into the backfield. He grabs, Claus, spins him around, and as Claus spins off of him and tries to throw it, he jumps up and bats the pass away. So, outstanding effort by
I didn't get it on video.
the Crusaders defense here. That was a great play.
Nice job by Hagler and a nice job by Claus, able to kind of fight off that pressure and at least get the pass away. Direct snap to Omey, and he's going to run straight up the middle before being upended by Pontes at the 39-yard line. But a nice pickup on first down, a gain of 6.
Well, we know Omey's very dangerous running the football, and
Gain of 5
he
yards
had a
on
nice
the play.
hole there. The Crusaders front doing a great job of creating some seams for the runners.
Kind of a late arriving crowd and kind of a small crowd by Husky Field standards. We're used to seeing much bigger crowds, but with the early start tonight, Going to be second at 4, and Omey this time is going to keep it himself, and he's going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Medeiros leading the way defensively as the Fortuna defense does a nice job of filling those holes.
Yeah, middle guys plugged up the middle really well. Medeiros comes in off the edge and makes the play, and did a good job that particular down.
So it will be 3rd and 5.
And we have all our best athletes on the edge.
3rd and 5 for the St. Bernard's offense. Empty backfield, trips to the right. Got some movement along the line of scrimmage, and I think we might have a procedure penalty against St. Bernard's, and it's going to be against right tackle A.J. Yeager. The referee tonight is Roland Treherne. The umpire is Ed Matthews. The linesman is Chris Peterson. The line judge is Jalen Lewis, and the back judge is Patrick Haase.
Yeah, had a couple of guys jumping there. I almost thought there'd be an encroachment called, but apparently, usually if the offense jumps at all, they get called for
Right.
it. But I actually kind of thought Fortuna was in the neutral zone first, but that's the way it goes.
So it's now going to be 3rd and 9. Trips to the left, Omey with an empty backfield. 4-man rush, sets up, looks downfield. Hagler's open. He makes the catch at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, St. Bernard. So once again, they pick on Kobe Leonard, and Leonard getting the start at quarterback tonight. Fortuna forced to move people around defensively because of the injuries. And Coach Tomlin's a master as far as finding matchups and mismatches. And Hagler had a couple of steps on Leonard, and Omey put it right on the money.
On the money, not only a speed mismatch there, but a height mismatch as well. And yeah, that ball was placed perfectly. Nice catch and run after the catch for a nice long touchdown.
So a 65-yard touchdown pass from Omey to Hagler. And now St. Bernard's is going to take a timeout. We'll keep it right here. 3:29 remaining as they're going to talk things over before the extra point attempt. But a huge play by the St. Bernard's offense.
Yeah, and here we are. It's only 3 minutes left in the first quarter. St. Bernard's made 2 trips to the end zone here. Pretty short period of time. Fortuna with their patented longer drives, but they stalled. And that's one of those things we talked about last week with Fortuna's long, time-consuming drives. Sometimes those work as a disadvantage if you don't put the ball in the end zone. And kind of on them right now as well.
And we both know, I know in talking with Fortuna head coach Mike Benbow earlier this week, his defense has been victimized by big plays. Del Norte made a lot of big plays last week, and we see a big play for the St. Bernard's offense tonight.
Yeah, there were hardly any long sustained drives by Del Norte last week, and it was all 60, 70-yard runs, couple of passes, and so on. They did have a couple of drives, but mostly it was big plays.
Second time tonight, Omey hooks up with Hagler. Here's the extra point attempt by Thrapp, and it is up, and it is good. So we will take a break in the action with 3:29 remaining in the first quarter. It's St. Bernard's 14, Fortuna nothing, and we'll be back with more right after this break. Wow. I think they're picking on Leonard. I don't like to be picking on Leonard, but I think they're picking on Leonard. Don't you think so?
A little bit, yeah. Well, you take what's open, and
well, and Hagler's, you called it too. That's
taller
kind of
and faster, yeah. 5-1 Brewers, end of 2. End of 3.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Charlie.
My phone's not up to speed here.
Oh, there you go. You got unlimited data. Oh, God.
Terrible.
But now they've got us so we can't survive without them.
Set to kick for the Crusaders, number 23, Lane Thrapp. Back to receive for the
3
Huskies,
plays,
number
67
31,
yards, the numbers on that
Boyd.
scoring drive. The touchdown coming on a 65-yard touchdown pass from Omey to Hagler. Second time they have hooked up tonight. And the kick is going to be picked up at about the 15-yard line by number 31. That is Dre Boyd. And Boyd's going to return it across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. And all the momentum right now with the Crusaders, coach.
Absolutely, even on that play, the Crusaders doing a great job of staying in their lanes and containing any kind of a kick return on that play. And kicking deep is paying off for them tonight because they are certainly winning the battle of field position so far in the first quarter.
See Nyberg down on the sidelines. He's a key member of that Fortuna backfield.
Well, he's one of the faster players for Fortuna, and you know, speed matters.
Gann's a two-way starter, a wide receiver, and a cornerback. And on first down, they give it to Medeiros, who's got some running room. He's across the 30, he's across the 40, and he's finally going to be brought down near midfield. But a penalty flag down back at about the 25-yard line. And once again, another big play by the Fortuna offense is coming back because of a holding call. And we saw that last week against Del Norte, Coach.
Yeah, well, the 2 games against Del Norte, there were at least a dozen holding calls, and here we are, you know, calling back a nice, you know, 30-yard gain. So that is, you know, that's something that I'm sure, you know, Coach Benbow's talked about it with the team, but you can't hold, and that's the way it goes.
And you talked with Coach last week about it. I talked with him earlier this week about it. And we both know that, you know, with Coach Dewey and with Coach Benbow, they take a lot of pride in their line play and making sure they're disciplined and doing things right. But this holding penalty is going to move it back to the 15-yard line, where it will now be first and long. And the pass out in the flat was intended for Sancho, and it's going to be broken up on a nice defensive play by Taylor.
Yeah, did a great job of getting a hand in front and batting the ball away. And, you know, another half a step, he might have had a good shot at an interception there. Might have been a fortunate bat down for Fortuna there, because that was close to a pick.
So you've got Taylor at left corner. St. Bernard's just kind of rolling their coverages right now as Claus is back to pass, and he is going to be sacked. So Claus under a heavy rush. Forward progress is going to be at about the 12-yard line. So a loss of 4 on the play, and it will now be 3rd and 22 for the Huskies.
Yeah, St. Bernard's sending a little blitz package there on that play, and they were all over. There was no open receivers and no time to throw the ball.
Taylor's going to be split to the left. Sancho is split to the right. Claus is going to operate out of the shotgun on 3rd and long. Claus sets up, looks across the middle, and the pass is incomplete. It was intended for Pontes, who was open at about the 35, but the pass was thrown behind him.
Yep, a little errant throw there, and he had to stop and try and spin back and get a hand on the ball, but there was no chance there. So Huskies are going to have to line up the punt here. Cadle's deep, they're ready to receive the snap, punt this ball away.
So Cadle now back in his own end zone. The line of scrimmage is the 13. Now we've got a flag down as one of the Fortuna players late in getting on the field. And it's going to end up being down at about the 42-yard line. So a 29-yard punt by Cadle, but we do have a penalty flag down, and it's going to be a procedure penalty against Fortuna because Letter was late in getting onto the field.
Didn't get set before the snap.
Exactly. So now, do you take the ball at the 42-yard line, or do you have Cadle punt it again?
Well, I've seen Cadle shank a few, and I've seen him drill a few a long way. So I think with where the football is right here, I'm probably taking the ball right where it's at, and you know, you've got this momentum. Why slow it down with another special teams play?
So they will decline the penalty. Actually, it's now going to be assessed on the punt, which is kind of interesting. That kind of leaves everybody kind of shaking their head. I don't know. You've got a few questions for the officials at halftime. Okay, so it was a 28-yard punt, a 5-yard penalty against Fortuna. And St. Bernard's has a first down at the Fortuna 36 leading 14-0. Omey back to pass, has all day, looks downfield, and this time the pass is going to be broken up. The pass was intended for Taylor, who had a step on Pratt, but the pass was underthrown, Coach.
Yeah, a little underthrown, and Fortuna had a chance to actually catch that. Who was that,
28, that is sophomore Connor Pratt, one of two sophomores that were brought up along with Peyton Kleintoe, who's a lineman. No JV game tonight. St. Bernard's in a situation where it will now be 2nd and 10. And Omey back to pass, looks downfield, and this one might be intercepted, and it
Omey's pass is incomplete.
almost picked off by Pontes, as that was kind of an ill-advised throw. But with both Pratt and Kleintoe being called up for the junior varsity, one game only as far as one regular season game, because Fortuna's a little bit banged up, and because there was not a JV game earlier tonight.
Sure, why not? Bring them up, see if they can do something. And there's pretty good pressure on that play. Cable coming up the middle, a hand in the face of the quarterback, and ball was underthrown a little bit. And
Pratt getting the start at safety tonight. That's how banged up Fortuna is in the secondary. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 at the 36. 1:59 remaining in the first quarter. Omey back to pass, empty backfield, looks downfield, and the pass is incomplete. The pass was intended for Fairfield, who was covered on the play by Jason Basansini.
Yeah, a little overthrown. The defender stopped and jumped. He couldn't get a hand on it. And
Husky 36-yard line.
4-down territory for the St. Bernard's offense with 1:55 remaining in the opening quarter. Very important play coming up for both teams. Crusaders lead the Huskies 14-0. 4th and 10 for St. Bernard's at the Fortuna 36. And I think that St. Bernard's might be forced to call another timeout. And that's exactly the case. Seemed to be some confusion between the St. Bernard sidelines and the St. Bernard's offense.
Yeah, well, you know what? If there's any doubt, especially in the first half, there's no sense in saving timeouts in the first half in most cases. So if there's any confusion, you know, good coaching call timeout, get everyone on the same page, and let's run the play correctly. This is big. You're either going to turn it over on downs, you're going to get a first down or a score. So, you know, you want to lower the margin for error here and make sure everybody's got the play right.
Crusaders leading, if you're just joining us, the Crusaders leading 14-0. Thanks to 2 touchdown passes from Omey to Hagler, a 16-yard touchdown pass with 9:28 left in the first quarter, and a 65-yard touchdown pass with 3:29 left in the first quarter. So a huge play for both teams, with the Crusaders having all the momentum right now, leading 14-0, and with the ball in Fortuna territory, facing a 4th and 10 at the Huskies 36. Trips to the left, twins to the right. Omey out of the shotgun, empty backfield. Chase under center. And Omey's going to try to run it, and the Fortuna defense does a great job of hitting Omey right at the line of scrimmage, and he ended up bouncing off the tackle before being brought down for no gain. So Fortuna defensively staying home and doing a great job, and realizing that Omey might try to pick up that first down with his legs.
Yeah, and well, that's a dangerous weapon. It's a consistently dangerous weapon for the Crusaders offense. There's no doubt about that, but Huskies plugged the hole up. Omey tried to bounce it outside, and the pursuit got to him. So great play by the Huskies.
So the Huskies with the first down at their own 37, and this time they're going to pitch the ball, and running over that left side and across the 40 and out to about the 45-yard line is Lorenzo.
That's Lorenzo, the ball carrier.
There's the double wing toss play, and getting the quarterback spinning around and tossing the ball, and then lead blocking through the hole.
Gain of 8 yards on the play will bring up second
if
down.
you're not ready for that, boy, that's a tough mob to stop.
Gain of 8, it's going to be 2nd and 2, and this time an inside handoff to Lorenzo, and he's going to run straight up the middle and pick up 5 yards to midfield before being tripped up by Cole Petrucci.
Number 54,
He's doing a
Cole
pretty good job of
Petruccia on
bend
the
but
stop
don't
for
break
the Crusaders.
defensively so far tonight, because the Huskies have had some pretty big plays, good running plays, and of course one called back from a holding penalty, but they haven't been inside the 30 yet.
First down at the St. Bernard's 49, and this time it's going to be an inside handoff to Basansky, who's going to spin forward for a couple of yards. Gain of 2 on the play. This is Fortuna's third possession of the game, as we are inside the 1 minute mark here in the first quarter, with St. Bernard's leading Fortuna 14-0. Huskies going from our right to our left. They're headed towards the ocean, moving in a westerly direction, as now they're going to keep it on the ground, and they're going to give it to Medeiros. And Medeiros being very patient with the nice hole is inside the 40. He's inside the 35, inside the 30, and he's finally brought down at the 28-yard line. A gain of 21 yards and a Husky first down.
Little kind of backdoor trap play there. That was the same play they ran for a long distance. It got called back, and Medeiros doing a good job carrying the ball tonight.
Sancho split to the left, Taylor split to the right. This time on a counter play, they're going to hand the ball off to Lorenzo, and Lorenzo's going to carry it inside the 20 to the 18 before being tackled by Omey on what will probably be the final play of the first quarter.
Yeah, same play, except different side of the offense, different ball carrier, but a little counter trap is working pretty nicely for the Huskies.
So we're going to take a break in the action at the end of one quarter. It's St. Bernard 14, Fortuna nothing, and we'll be back with the second quarter right after this timeout. Getting set for the start of the second quarter. The Huskies on the move, trailing 14-0. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Fortuna. They have the ball in the red zone.
We started the second quarter.
Anytime you get the ball inside the 20-yard line, that's considered to be the red zone. And on first down, it's going to be an inside handoff, and the ball carrier for the Huskies, that is Pontes, and he's going to run straight up the middle and pick up 13 yards to the 5-yard line, and another Fortuna first down.
Get running their veer, just simple dive play to the left side, and big hole, nice gain there. So this is an important drive for Fortuna. They need to put some points on the board here. You know, they get down by 3 touchdowns, and all of a sudden you're standing in a deep hole. So that should be encroachment.
Penalty marker prior to the snap.
And before the snap, we have a whistle and a penalty, and like you said, Coach, it's going to be offsides against St. Bernard.
Well, we've known that Klaus has a great hard count, and I don't know that we haven't had a game where he's drawn the defense offsides at some point or another.
This time it's going to be an inside handoff to Pontes, and he's into the end zone. So Pontes on that right side scores on a 3-yard touchdown run, and the Huskies are back in business.
Yeah, well, they needed this, and you know, if they're going to stay in this game, they just can't dig too deep a hole. So this was an important drive and score here, and now the all-important point after coming up as well.
So 8 plays, 63 yards, the numbers on the scoring drive. 3-yard run by Pontes, and the extra point by Adelano is up and good, so we'll take a break in the action with 11:33 left in the first half. It's St. Bernard 14, Fortuna 7, and we'll be back with more right after this timeout. Thank you, Charlie. You called the coach. You said maybe a high-scoring affair.
Well, so far, the over under 60. I'm taking the over.
Is that what it
really
is?
good. Well, I don't know. I just threw that out there, but I guess that was my prediction. More than 60 points tonight. So unless some adjustments are made, it could get there in a hurry.
Pontes with his 6th rushing touchdown and his 9th touchdown overall. He scores on a 3-yard run, capping off an 8-play, 63-yard drive. Touchdown comes with 11:33 remaining in the first half, and now a squib kick by Adelano is going to be taken by Simone at the 30. He's across the 35, and he's going to return it out to about the 40-yard line before being brought down by number 26, Nathan Arisman.
Number 26.
You know, I'm thinking to myself to go back a little bit to that kicking play where we didn't understand the penalty, and even in the NFL, they're trying to avoid as many kicking plays as
Ball is
possible
spotted
for
at the
safety
Crusader
concerns.
40-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's been some kind of rule change since I quit coaching about making that option possible to not have to kick again. But I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud right now.
And maybe you can look into that at halftime as far as touching base with the officials. You can have a chance to wander at halftime as the pass by Omey is going to be deflected at the line of scrimmage. He was looking for Hagler as it falls incomplete. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the St. Bernard's offense, which is now starting to sputter a little bit.
A little bit.
Bring up
Like
second
Isaiah
down for the
Payne got a
Crusaders.
big, he's a tall, lanky defensive end on our side here. Got a hand up in the air and batted that down.
I love the fact that we have just a great chess match tonight with the two coaching staffs and the two teams kind of going back and forth with one another, trying to do the best job that they can of executing. So it's going to be 2nd and 10, and Omey's going to keep it himself on a quarterback
Omey
draw,
on the
and he's going to run straight up the middle and pick up 3 yards to the 43-yard line before being brought down by Payne, Lorenzo, and Basanson.
Lopez
Yeah,
on the
two
tackle.
state champion
up third
coaches, no less,
Yes.
squaring off tonight.
Great observation. Coach Tomlin won a CIF 5A state championship in 2015. And then Coach Benbow duplicated that feat last year. So it's going to be 3rd and 7, empty backfield. Omey back to pass. Omey's being pressured, and he's just going to dump this one off and probably should be grounded. There was nobody in the neighborhood as he was being pressured on the play by
Number 32,
Medeiros.
Adam Medeiros.
And now Ed Matthews is talking things over with Roland Trier because it really didn't appear. Now there's a
Penalty
flag.
marker, intentional grounding on the Crusaders.
And I don't know why it was so hard for the officials to figure that one out.
It's like retroactive.
I mean,
now. It's like-
Yeah, you know what?
It's a late flag, but it's the right call.
Right. And 33 was probably too deep. You know,
That would have been Hagler.
He was too deep because the ball was thrown right at the feet of one of the linemen, but
Right.
the receiver was way up the field on that. And, you know, as he jogged back, you know, he looked a little closer than he was. But, yeah, I'm surprised that the throw-in came in late, but
Intentional grounding was the penalty. Ball is spotted
that
at the
really
Crusaders'
sets Crusaders back
25-yard
deep
line.
here, and a nice break for the Huskies.
It's going to move the ball back to the 25, where it will now be 4th and 25. With Omey now back in punt formation, high snap. Omey's going to do a nice job of catching the ball, but then he's going to try to run for a first down, and he's going to be tackled at the 30-yard line. So a special teams breakdown by St. Bernard's and that will give Fortuna excellent field position at the 30-yard line. High snap. Omey did a nice job going up and
Ball
getting
is
it.
spotted at the Crusader.
And then he had no
30-yard
choice
line,
but to just
first and
kind
10
of
Huskies.
run for his life, literally.
Yeah, bobbled it a little bit, and then it almost looked like he was going to turn a disaster into a potential first down, but the Husky defense hustled over and knocked him out. So great field position, and another
Penalty marker prior to
penalty
the
by
snap.
St. Bernard's.
Offsides on the Crusaders.
So a first down for the Huskies at the St. Bernard's 30-yard line.
That was one of the big inside guys. I don't know if that was 77.
Isaac Beach.
5-yard penalty. Ball is spotted at
But
the
a couple guys
Crusaders'
jumped. I thought
25-yard
Chase might
line,
have jumped
first
too, but
and 5 for the
I'm sure he was
Huskies.
out there. A couple big guys.
So it'll be 1st and 5, and on 1st and 5, they're going to pitch it to Pontes,
Number 21,
who's
Joey
inside the
Pontes,
20 to the
ball carrier.
17-yard line, as he
Good
picks up
for a
8
first
yards and a
down for
first
the
down
Huskies.
before being tackled by Finoti.
Lane
Yeah,
Thraft
but the
and
Crusaders
Fanati
are having
on the
trouble
stop.
answering that toss, that double wing formation, that little toss play. But if you execute that right, that's a tough play to stop if you don't practice against it.
Pontes and Lorenzo in the backfield. It's going to be an inside handoff to Lorenzo, and he's going to run straight up the middle and pick up 2 yards to the 15-yard line
Number 22,
before being
Travis
pushed
Lorenzo,
back.
the ball
Yeah, there's a
carrier.
pattern developing here. They run that toss play and then they go right back to the veer
Fanati.
and run a dive. They've done that
And
like in the
Patricia
last
on
3
the tackle.
possessions in some series. So, St. Bernard's, the coaching staff's sharp. They're going to pick up on that and go, hey, here comes the veer right after the toss.
Beach checks out, Chase checks back in. This time the give is to Pontes, and he's going to be upended after a short gain on a nice tackle by Finoti.
Pontes,
Finoti
the
and
ball
Hagler
carrier.
doing a good job.
Yeah,
Fanati
good
on
job
the
by the defense
tackle.
keeping that gain to a short one, getting low and taking on the blockers and tripping up the carrier there. Hagler doing a good job of filling.
Gain of 1, it's going to be 3rd and 6. Gage is going to check in for
Third
Fortuna.
down for the Huskies. Ball
Crusaders
at the 19-yard
14,
line.
Huskies
Crusaders.
7. Early stages of the second quarter. Approaching the 9-minute mark, and this time the handoff's going to be to Lorenzo, who breaks back to the right, and Lorenzo's
Number
inside the
22,
10,
Travis
inside the
Lorenzo,
5,
ball
and to the
carrier, good for
2-yard
a first down
line,
for
as
the
he picks up
Huskies.
more than enough for a first down, a gain of 17, and another
Number
Fortuna
16,
first down.
Sebastian Taylor on the
A bit of a
tackle.
lead play there.
First
coming
and
to
goal,
the
Huskies.
offside running back and following his blockers right up the middle. Good job offensive line for the Huskies.
And they're starting to control the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 1st and goal at the 2. And Claus this time on a
Number
quarterback
11, Zach
sneak
Claus
is into the end zone for a touchdown. So the Huskies, who fell behind 14-0, are an extra point away from tying the game up.
Yeah, kind of two different stories here. St. Bernard's owning the field for most of the first quarter, and then all of a sudden the Huskies 2 unanswered touchdowns.
So a 2-yard touchdown run by Claus. Low snap. The kick by Adelano is up, and it's good. So we will take a break in the action with 8 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the second quarter. We've got a brand new ball game. St. Bernard 14, Fortuna 14, and we'll be back with more right after this timeout. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. 5-2, top of the fifth. Claus with his 6th.
Mazzotti 40-yard touchdown run.
Roll up the middle, that's for sure. Right there. I mean, it's like
And it looks like they're up by 2 touchdowns. Arcata 6-0 into the first. Halikis, 15-yard touchdown run. Now
Number 80,
Mazzotti, a
Luis
40-yard run.
Santorano to kick for the Huskies. Number 6, Demetrius Biddle to receive for the Crusaders.
Adelano set to kick off from the 40, and it's going to be kind of a bouncing kick that will be taken on a couple of hops by Simone at the 35, and he's going to return it out to the 45-yard line. Numbers on that scoring drive: 6 plays, 30 yards. Touchdown comes on a 2-yard run by Claus. His 4th rushing touchdown in the last 2 weeks. He had 3 against Del Norte last week. He now has 6 this season. The extra point was good by Adelano, and we're tied 14-14, Coach.
Yep, here we go. It's neck and neck. No surprise. You
thought we might have a high-scoring game, and we are definitely headed in that direction. First down at the 45, and this time they're going to run a reverse to Hagler. And Hagler trying to get to the edge is across midfield before being tripped up on a nice defensive play over on the far side of the field by Taylor in Fortuna territory. That could have been a big play, but the Fortuna defense did a nice job of preventing that from happening as Hagler picks up 6 yards on the play.
Yeah, Cato got some penetration and pushed Hagler a little bit deeper, and he wanted to go, and the defensive backs on the far side of the field for Fortuna stayed home and weren't fooled on the play and made a nice open field tackle. Still a nice game, though.
Going to be 2nd and 4, ball in Fortuna territory at the 49. St. Bernard's now with a different formation. And that's going to be Omey keeping the ball, and Omey's going to do a nice job of cutting back, and he's going to pick up more than enough for a first down before being shoved out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Really didn't look like that play was going anywhere, and Omey being very patient, picked up a couple blocks, made a couple of nice moves in the open field, and picks up 7 yards and a first down.
Yeah, patient runners do well when they get their blockers out in front of them, and that time he just kind of waited. The blockers developed a hole for him, a nice seam off the edge. And it, although it looked like Cato got great penetration again, kind of forced him out a little early, but nice run by Omey.
1st and 10 at the 42, and Omey's going to keep it himself again, and this time on a quarterback draw. He's going to run straight up the middle, and he's going to spin inside the 35, and he's finally going to be brought down by Pontes at the 30-yard line, but not before he picks up 12 yards and another first down. Omey coming into tonight's game, Coach, 132 carries for 979 yards, an average of 7.4 yards per carry, and an average of 122.4 yards per game. He's had 5 100-yard games, and he's had 12 rushing touchdowns. 1st and 10 at the 30. Omey wants to throw it. He's looking downfield for Taylor, who comes back and makes the catch, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. As this time they pick on the sophomore Pratt, who failed to kind of get turned around. The coverage was there, but Taylor did a much better job of going to find the football.
Taylor did an outstanding job of going up in the air and reaching down behind the cornerback in that particular play, and picked the ball up off the back of the defender, who didn't turn around and see the ball coming. So outstanding catch and great balance, and came down right in the end zone.
And it was good coverage by Pratt, but he wasn't able to turn himself around. So a 28-yard touchdown pass from Omey to Taylor as the extra point by Thrapp is up, and it is good. No flags down. We're going to take a break in the action. 7:22 remaining in the first half. It's St. Bernard's 21, Fortuna 14, and we'll be back with more right after this timeout. Perfect, thank you. 28-yard pass. Omey to Taylor. Omey with his 3rd of the game, 21st. So Taylor scores his 4th touchdown of the season. Omey with his third touchdown pass of the game, his 21st of the year. 28-yard scoring play, capping off a 4-play, 55-yard drive. And St. Bernard's regains the lead 21-14, and Thrapp now will kind of kick this one away. And it's going to bounce inside the 20, inside the 10, and it's going to be picked up at the 2-yard line by Boyd. Boyd finds some running room as he runs up the middle across the 15 to about the 19-yard line.
Yeah, excellent kick, and that ball died at about the 2-yard line. Although he had to pick it up and run it, it's a live ball, and he made a little something out of nothing there and got back close to the 20. I can tell you, thanks to Jim Monchi at Arcata High School, that Arcata leads football 14-0 with 10 minutes to play in the second quarter.
Both teams 3-1 in the Little Four Conference. Homecoming at Arcata High School this week. Going to be 1st and 10, and on 1st and 10, it's going to be an inside handoff to Pontes, who has some running room, and he's finally going to be dragged down by Simone at the 36-yard line, but not before he picks up 17 yards and a first down.
Yeah, Simone did a great job turning on the wheels there and kind of dragging him down from behind, or he had some room to run there because he was picking up a block late, and good play by him.
Pontes, the leading rusher for the Huskies, coming into tonight's game, 71 carries for 407 yards, an average of 5.7 yards per carry. This time the handoff goes to Lorenzo, and Lorenzo is going to fall forward and pick up maybe a yard after being hit right at the line of scrimmage, leading the way defensively for the Crusaders, number 54, Cole Petruccia.
Yeah, the counter play's been bread and butter tonight for Fortuna so far in this game. That time, not so much. St. Bernard's stepped up and stopped it on that particular down.
Crowd starting to fill up a little bit as far as the stands here at Husky Field. 6:30 start tonight. Might have got a few people off guard. Going to be 2nd and 8, and on 2nd and 8, they keep it on the ground. They give it to Pontes, and Pontes, as always, running hard, is across the 40 and out to about the 43-yard line before being tackled by Taylor and Thrapp.
Number 16, Sebastian
Huskies
Taylor,
getting a pretty good push up front there on the right side of the line there. Once again, Luciana Medina leading the way from his right guard position, doing a great job.
We've got Medina and Cato on that right side, and Claus running the option is going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage, and he is going to be tackled for a short loss. And leading the way defensively, Hagler, and then he gets some help from Taylor, along with Thrapp and Finotti. So decision time now for Husky head coach Mike Benbow. It's going to be 4th and a short 3 at their own 44, and he doesn't even hesitate.
Nothing else will try to draw him off.
Exactly. And Claus.
Yeah, they did it.
He did it. There was some movement up front.
Somebody went to the neutral zone.
And Claus.
Offsides on the Crusaders. It'll be good for a first down.
My guess is 75, but I'm not certain. And the line judge on the far side saw it right away through the flag.
And St. Bernard's head coach Matt Tomlin is beside himself because he knows that Fortuna loves to do that in that type of situation.
And that's a freebie. You can't do that very often and expect a good outcome.
So Claus able to draw St. Bernard's off sides, and on first down, it's an inside handoff to Lorenzo, and he's going to run straight up the middle and pick up 4 yards to the 47-yard line before being brought down by Chase, Taylor, and Hagler. Crusaders 21, Huskies 14, just inside of 5 minutes remaining in the first down. That's Pontes in motion to the right. They give it to Lorenzo, and he's going to be tripped up near the 45. He's going to fall forward to the 41-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play. It's going to be 3rd and a short 2 for the Husky offense. As Medeiros checks back in, Coach.
Yeah, Huskies are running counter to the right and counter to the left and counter back to the right again. It's been running basically the same play to opposite sides.
And a real up-tempo offense. Inside handoff to Pontes, and he has the first down as he's inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. Simone and Taylor in on the tackle, but Fortuna with a real up-tempo offense.
Yeah, they're
very
very
reminiscent of what
yeah.
St. Bernard's likes to do,
Well,
Coach.
that's what allows them to be a little more successful trying to draw teams offside. They run up to the ball and snap it almost immediately. That time they went back to the veer and, fed the dive and picked up a nice game.
So it will be 1st and 10 for the Huskies at the 35. That's Gage in motion to the right. It's going to be an inside handoff to Pontes, and he's going to be tripped up after a short gain. A gain of maybe 2 on the play. Nice defensive play by outside linebacker Cole Petruccia.
Yeah, Crusaders not fooled by the motion or anything else on that play, and just simply stopped the dive.
Cole, twin brother of Logan Petruccia. Actually, he's not. I got my Petruccias messed up there. Now it's going to, fumble, ball is loose, and it's going to be recovered by Taylor.
Nice.
So the ball ended up popping loose. Looked like it was
Recovered by
Lorenzo
number 6,
who fumbled the
Sebastian
ball.
Taylor.
It bounced loose, and it's recovered by Taylor.
Yeah, big hit, ball comes loose. St. Bernard's jumps on it, and that's a huge turnover right here. Fortuna was getting some, head of steam up and driving down. They picked up, quite a bit, 50 yards so far on this particular drive, and now it stalls.
Our first turnover of the game, a fumble by the Huskies. And St. Bernard's now has a first down at their own 30. That's Hagler in motion to the right. They fake the handoff to Hagler. Omey will keep it himself, and he's going to be tackled after a short gain on a nice defensive play by Caleb.
Yeah, Caleb was doing a pretty good job when he's playing middle linebacker. He's been moving back and forth from defensive tackle to linebacker. That time, made a nice read step, was watching the whole play, shuffled along, and was kind of spying Omey on that play, and I made a nice hit.
Just under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. No gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Omey looks over the defense, gets the play call from head coach and offensive coordinator Matt Tomlin. And now we're going to have a whistle. And I think St. Bernard's is going to call their 3rd timeout of the first half. Okay, back to the Petruccias now. Cole is the cousin of the twins. That would be Connor and Logan. Cole's dad is Tim. Connor and Logan, their dad is Chuck, who's up here running the camera. One thing I do not want to do is
mess up the family.
Exactly. They might cut us off. We don't want that to happen. But, Coach, hey, very exciting and entertaining first half.
Absolutely.
Dr. Omey's up here. Chuck's up here. Coach Saunderson's up here. Everybody getting their money's worth tonight at Husky Field.
No shortage of action and big plays and long drives. And, there hasn't been too many penalties. A few, too. I mean, every coach will say there was too many penalties, but it's been a clean game. It's been no one's getting chippy out there or anything. As I'm hearing,
these two programs have a lot of respect for one another. We really enjoy working with both head coaches and both coaching staffs, and you can tell this is really kind of an interesting coaching matchup tonight with the Huskies and the Crusaders.
Absolutely.
Going to be 2nd and 10. That's Omey in the backfield. Now you got Simone back there with him. Twins right, twins left, and Omey's going to keep it on a quarterback draw, and he's going to run straight up the middle, and he's going to pick up a couple yards before being brought down by Valenzuela.
Yeah, he got by the blitz. Caleb blitzed up the middle, and Omey sidestepped him, but the Huskies filled in behind him rather quickly for little to no gain.
Payne shaking up on the play. He's going to check out. It's going to be 3rd and 9. Just a little more than 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Crusaders 21, Huskies 14. Fortuna will receive the second half kickoff. 3rd and 9, we got motion to the left. That's Fairfield. Pass downfield intended for Thrapp. Coverage on the play by Taylor. Thrapp did a nice job of coming back. Tried to make a leaping catch at the 45-yard line, but he was not able to make the play.
Yeah, pass sailed a little bit high, and I'm not sure if Thrapp doesn't catch that ball if he keeps running and just kind of adjusts to the ball in the air, but he did stop and go up for it, but sort of misjudged the height of the ball and sailed out of bounds. So.
They got single coverage. That's what they wanted. But good coverage by Taylor, and Thrapp unable to make the catch. So the clock stops with 1:53 left in the first half. And Omey's back in punt formation. The line of scrimmage is the St. Bernard's 31. Good snap this time. Omey with plenty of time gets the punt away. And it's going to be a very high short punt that will bounce sideways. And Fortuna will end up with very good field position at their own 48-yard line after a 21-yard punt by Omey.
Yeah, Fortuna doing a pretty decent job there of stopping the Crusader offense after an unfortunate turnover to get that ball back. A couple minutes, minute 40 left in the half to try and even up the score. So they needed to stop the Crusaders' drive on that particular possession.
Very important drive coming up for both teams. First down for the Huskies at the 49. They've got motion to the right. They're going to pitch it to Pontes, who gets to the end. Pontes with some running room gets to the outside. He's going to cut back, and he's still on his feet before being shoved out of bounds at the 23-yard line. A gain of 28 yards on that first down run.
Yeah, Cadle out front, paving the road, and nice job of picking up blocks and being patient and picking up a big gain and no flags.
Ball is spotted at the 23-yard line for Crusaders.
That right side of the line with Cadle at guard and Medina at tackle, making that play possible. First and 10 at the 23. This time it's going to be Lorenzo on a counter play to the left side, and he's inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. A gain of 7 on the
Brought
play.
down by number 3, Fonati.
Going to the counter, it's been a very effective play for the Huskies tonight. You know, Crusaders have stopped it once or twice, but
Gain
most
of
of the time
7
they're getting
yards on
5,
the
7,
play. We'll bring
9
up
yards
second
out
down
of
for the
this
Huskies.
particular offensive play.
Second and 3 with Basansany in the backfield. That's Pontes in motion to the right. They pitch it to him. He's going to try to get to the edge, and he does before being tripped
Number
up and
21,
knocked out of
Joey
bounds
Pontes,
inside the
takes out of bounds.
15-yard line by Simone. And depending on the spot, he's going to be close to a first down, Coach.
Yeah, Simone doing a much better job that time than the last sweep of getting out there and setting the edge and
Bring
trying
up
to turn the
30
play in, even though the
inches for
play
the Huskies.
still, kept going toward the sidelines. He got a hand on the carrier and did a good job of keeping his outside arm free and making a play.
Okay, so check this out. They're going to call for a measurement here. I love this. I love this. And I love Rollin. He's one of my favorite guys. You know, fellow
There's an
member of the
official
media.
timeout on the field
And
for
now
measurement.
they're going to call for a measurement, Coach. Help me out now.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to tell you.
Other than the fact that they should have called for a measurement earlier in the game.
I was
and they did.
really surprised
Yeah.
they did not. I mean, it was a quick call, and they just went with it. No discussion, no nothing, and off they went. So we'll see. Looks like
And he's taking a close look at it,
got
and
about an inch.
it looks like Fortuna just short of a first down. It's going to be 3rd and inches. Make sure you stay with us at halftime, because coming up at halftime, we'll recap the scoring in the first half. We'll look at some first half statistics. We'll take a look at the scoreboard, and we will also visit with South Fork head football coach Carl Terrell. We'll talk a little 8-man football with him. Carl doing a nice job down in Southern Humboldt, replacing Andy Olson.
Will be 3rd and inches for the
Cubs
Huskies. Ball is
enjoying a
spotted at
very
the Crusader
successful season.
15-yard line.
Playing 8-man football. Now Medeiros is in the backfield. You've got a couple of wingbacks with Lorenzo and Pontes. Going to be 3rd and inches. Claus under center. Claus is just going to keep it on a quarterback sneak, and he's going to run straight up the middle and pick up 2 yards for a first down. So the clock will stop with 56 seconds remaining as they move the chains. And now Fortuna will use one of their 3 remaining timeouts.
Yeah, a good call here. Make sure you got the plays called that you want. Maybe call a couple plays out there in the huddle, and have some kind of game plan going forward here with 56 seconds left. That's not a lot of time, but they are down about the 12, 13-yard line. So if they can call a couple of plays here, save some time, they got to hustle back to the line of scrimmage.
Elsewhere tonight in the Big Four Conference, Eureka hosting Del Norte at Albee Stadium. It's going to be senior night. Eureka with a very talented and deep senior class. It's a 7:30 kickoff at Albee Stadium. Both teams 1-0 in conference play.
Well, Del Norte keep their momentum going.
Yes.
Coming off a big win against.
I think that game's going to be close for a while.
I think so.
yeah.
They certainly have the ability to play, but Eureka's the real deal.
Eureka is so
tough.
good.
They're so good.
One of the best high school football teams that I've seen in our area for a while.
First down for the Huskies. The
They're
ball
not
is
undefeated
spotted
for
at
no
the
reason,
Crusader
and they play a
12-yard
really
line.
tough pre-league schedule. So.
1st and 10 at the 12. This time they're going to pitch the ball to Pontes, and a great spin move by Pontes, and he's in the end zone for the touchdown. We've seen Pontes do that in the past, and he made a really sweet spin move near the line of scrimmage.
Turned it back inside, and then actually, ended up dragging a defender or two along with him and fell just across the goal line. So that was a heck of a run. One of those determination kind of runs, I like to call them, where he just wasn't going to be held out if there were any way to get in there, and he ran hard and made all the moves he needed to. So great play by him, and here's the point after. It is
Extra point by Adelano is up, and it's good. So with 50 seconds left in the first half, we're tied at 21, and we'll be back with more right after this 60-second timeout. Perfect, thank you.
Jim says the game's getting really chippy in Arcata. One of the hoopball players already been ejected.
Who said that?
Monji.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because they're getting beat now.
Yeah. He gave a name. Who was it? Reynolds?
No. Oh, yeah.
Not sure what position he plays, but
Well, the thing about it, he gets kicked out, he's going to be
out next week
exactly
too, against McKinleyville.
Yeah, it is.
Because Ferndale goes to Arcata next week. If Ferndale wins tomorrow and Arcata wins tonight, Ferndale beats Arcata again.
Three-way tie.
We got 3 and 3s and 0 and 6.
3, 4, and 2s.
3, 4 and 2s and an 0 and 6.
Right.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
You hung on and finished in the money in the baseball, huh? I saw
Yeah,
that.
barely.
What's up, brother?
I had
You know Coach
reserves.
Filippini, don't you?
How you doing?
Carl
We've
Terrell.
met. How are you?
Welcome back to Husky Field, 21-21. Our halftime guest is ready to go. That's the great Carl Terrell, enjoying a little Friday Night Lights here at Husky Field, just like we are, Coach. And a nice scoring drive by the Huskies. 6 plays, 51 yards. 12-yard touchdown run by Pontes, his second rushing touchdown of the game, and his 7th rushing touchdown of the season, and his 10th touchdown overall. And the extra point was good by Adelano. And we'll see what St. Bernard's can do with the remaining 50 seconds here in the first half. Kick by Adelano is going to be just kind of a short squib kick that's going to be covered up and actually caught by one of the up men for the Crusaders, and St. Bernard's will have pretty good field position.
Yeah, pretty
Coach.
good. Well, once again, that's one of those risk-reward things with the onside kick, and we talked about it last week against Eureka. Eureka's offense starting their drives at the 45, 50-yard line the whole first half. But Coach Tomlin was very clear. They thought they needed to recover a couple of onsides to stay in the game, and that was the game plan going in.
So we'll see if Omey and the St. Bernard's offense can do anything with 49 seconds and no timeouts remaining in the first half. Omey empty backfield, now being pressured, is just going to throw this one away, and that's going to be another grounding call. As he was being pressured by Payne.
Yeah, there was not an eligible receiver within 15, 20 yards. They were all downfield. So that really hurts. You got a sack plus a penalty, and because that is a
loss of down also.
That's a spot foul, yeah.
So the penalty will move the ball back to the 25.
It looked like 53 for Fortuna.
That's Payne.
Payne getting in there and harassing Omey.
So it will be 2nd and 23.
Right up the middle.
With 44 seconds left in the half. And Omey this time on a quarterback draw is going to run straight up the middle. And he's going to spin off the tackler and be brought down at about the 28-yard line. A short gain on the play, a gain of 3. As the clock continues to move. 30 seconds and counting remaining in the half. Omey looking over to the sidelines, and I think St. Bernard's is trying to take as much time off the clock as possible. Keep in mind, Fortuna does have 2 timeouts remaining. Now it's down to 10 seconds.
Both be content to go in at half here and start fresh.
Gonna be happy to go in.
Down to 2 seconds, and that is it.
Oh.
So
yeah, okay.
21 our score. There's a flag down. Okay, check this out. There's a
don't
flag
go
down.
away.
Don't go away.
Might have to
Because
delay a game.
I think you're exactly right, Coach. We're going to have a delay a game penalty against St. Bernard's before the horn sounded, ending the first half.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they put a couple of seconds back on the clock. Now they're just going to wind the clock. So a delay a game penalty, 5-yard penalty, and now the clock will start to run again, and that will be it for the first half. 21-21 our score at halftime. Before we let you wander at halftime, you called it during the pregame show. You thought it could be a high-scoring affair, and that has been the case. It's been a very exciting and entertaining first half of Big Four Conference football. Your thoughts on what we saw in the first half?
Well, momentum swings again, like we saw with Fortuna and Del Norte last week. Who's going to answer when the other team scores? And so far, they've been answering each other. Been a couple of stalled drives, 1 turnover, but for the most part, it's been driving down and scoring. And here we are, 42 points into the game so far in just the first half. So no shortage of excitement, that is for certain.
Got to give St. Bernard's a lot of credit for jumping out to that 14-0 lead, but you also have to give Fortuna a lot of credit for keeping their composure and kind of sticking to their game plan and not panicking.
Absolutely, and there's not a lot of big plays, so to speak, for Fortuna, but they've been driving, they've been running their offense. They run their veer, they're running the counters, they're running that toss, and they're doing what they do, and they're sticking to it, and they're having success.
Going to let you wander, going to let you gather some information, touch base with the officials, try to catch up with
supporting the
staff
fighters,
for both teams.
admiring the survivors,
hey, thank you very much for your help.
honoring
First
the
half, we'll
taken,
talk to you in a little bit.
and never,
All right,
ever
Coach Dave
giving up
Filippini
hope.
joining
My
us
name
here
is
in the
Jessica,
first half.
and
Our
I am
score
a breast
at
cancer
halftime
survivor.
is St. Bernard's
My
21,
name is
Fortuna
I'm
21,
a 17-year
and we
breast
will be
cancer
back
survivor.
with
I
the
battled
halftime
stage
show
4 breast
right after
cancer
this
on
timeout.
2 separate occasions. Nothing could have prepared me to
Okay, thanks,
say the
Charlie.
words, "You have breast cancer." My 2 young
Yeah, that's
daughters,
fine.
ages 1 and 5, brought out a strength in me I didn't even know I had.
Just a headset, Coach. It's
They
just a
gave
headset.
me the will to fight.
I don't even know what a headset is.
I have been blessed to watch my girls grow into beautiful young
first down.
women.
Yes, yeah.
I am grateful to my
Do you have a
family,
chance to watch quite a
friends,
bit of it?
and community
Of the first quarter.
for all the support they have given
Right.
me through the
Play
years.
calls, man, and you
Thank you.
expose the secondary.
Hello, my name is
Then
Jennifer
it's grind
Colbert.
and pound.
I have been fighting cancer for 8
Misdirection.
years and I'm a stage 4 cancer
That's what
survivor.
Fortuna's gaining their yard.
I continue to
Misdirection
fight for my
plays.
husband, our daughters, sons-in-laws, grandson, and all my amazing family and
Yeah, they
friends,
did, yeah.
and all women who are
They
fighting.
woke up. Right after that, it's about
My name
8
is
minutes.
Michelle and I'm a breast cancer survivor.
Ron, how's everything
I fought
upstairs?
for my
Good?
family,
Good first half.
community, and
Good
future
first
breast
half.
cancer patients.
Run the ball very well.
I'm Pam Summer.
Welcome to the halftime
We
show.
never
Tag
think
Waters
with
with
one
Coach
phone
Dave
call your life will
Filippini,
change.
Coach Ron Olson,
Mine did.
and
On
Coach Carl
December
Terrell. Nice
8th,
enough to stop by and join us at
2016,
halftime.
I
Our
was
score at
diagnosed with
halftime.
an
21-21
invasive
our
papillary
score. The
carcinoma,
Fortuna
4
cheerleaders
surgeries and 20
the youth
radiation
football
treatments,
cheerleaders doing a
and
nice
still
job.
here.
It's kind of breast cancer
In my
awareness
journey,
month.
I have found the
kind of a
love of my
tribute
family
to all
and
the
who my true
survivors and
friends
people
really
that
are.
have
For some
dealt
of
with
us,
breast
it's a
cancer.
short battle, while
Right
for
now,
others
there's a
it's a
nice
longer
program
one.
taking place here at
Always
halftime.
remember,
Carl, let's
never
talk some
give up.
football. Welcome to the halftime show. It's always
I am
good to
Sarah
see you, and
Alvin,
it's always
and I was
nice to
diagnosed
talk
with breast
football with you,
cancer
whether
on
it's at
March
the Humboldt
16th,
County Fair
2018.
or here at
Even
Husky
though I'm
Field.
not done with my
Thanks for
treatment,
inviting me
I
here.
still consider
I
myself
love
a
football,
breast
and that's
cancer
why
survivor.
I enjoy coming
From
up
the
and talking about it.
beginning, my
Okay, let's
goals have
talk
been
about
to
the
live a
first half
normal
of this
life
game. You're a
while kicking
football
cancer to the
football
curb
guy.
and educate
Definitely a
family and
very
friends about
entertaining
breast
first
cancer.
half of
I even
football. Looked
started
like
a
St.
blog
Bernard's
to
had
help
control
accomplish this
early,
goal.
and then
Cancer
Fortuna
is
was able to
tough,
kind of
but
turn
I am
things
tough.
around in the second half.
Yeah, St. Bernard's came out strong in the first quarter, throwing the ball, changing up the defense of Fortuna and throwing downfield. And then the second period showed up and Fortuna started right away, controlling the line of scrimmage as they moved down through misdirection run plays.
both teams made some, in-game adjustments during that first half.
Both sides of the ball. Defense and offense made adjustments. Toward the end of the second period, the defense from Fortuna really bumped the St. Bernard's offense. They could not get anything going.
So 21-21 our score at halftime as we were visiting with South Fork head coach Carl Burrell. Carl now back as the head coach down in Southern Humboldt. Coach, you guys have enjoyed a very successful season playing 8-man football at South Fork High School. You did the 11-man football thing for quite a while as the head coach and as an assistant coach. And I know you worked very closely with Andy Olson, who was the head coach last year. What's it been like for you this year with Andy now here at the sidelines, helping out Mike Benbow and the Fortuna Huskies, and you now back in charge?
Just like riding a bicycle. I've been coaching football for 27 years, and then just went out and continued to coach. And regardless of who's here, I'm just Andy, don't get me wrong, but he's been running something up here in Fortuna. It's a lot, and we're going to continue trying to play football in South Florida.
From a coaching standpoint, what are some of the biggest adjustments you've had to make in going from playing 11-man football to 8-man football from a coaching standpoint?
From a coaching standpoint, the field's smaller. It's an 80 by 40 instead of by 100 by 53. The 3 less players didn't seem like a big challenge to us. We adapted it very well, and defensively the same way. You just got to adapt to it. Football is still two main things you do: block and tackle. Regardless if it's 8-man or 11-man, you continue to play the game of football the same way. 3 less players.
It seems to be a little bit more high scoring. It seems to be, a little bit more maybe like arena football, so to speak, as far as more offense.
Correct, very correct. So if you can come up with a defensive plan to stop you, you're always going to be in the mix all the time. So offense does roll faster in the 8-man league, but if you can create a good defense, you're going to be on the top all the time.
Cubs had a lot of success last year. You guys won a championship last year, and you had some key players back off of last year's team. So despite everything else that was going on, you felt pretty good going into this season as far as having high expectations and thinking that this year you might also be able to have some more success.
Yeah, we're having success right now. I mean, we had a senior-laden team last year, and our freshmen that was on our team, we had 8 of them. They came back as sophomores this year, very talented kids, and they learned something from the seniors last year, so we're continuing on right now. We're actually league champions again. We're headed to the playoffs to try to defend what we did last year as a section champion.
So give us an update on where you are right now as far as the regular season and what are things looking like as far as the postseason is concerned.
Well, we're 6-2. We're actually seated number 3 in the section right now as defending champions, and looking forward to our first home playoff game in 2 weeks from now, November 2nd. So we're looking forward to that. We got a game tomorrow down in Santa Rosa, and then we'll have a bye next week, and then looking forward to playoffs to start.
So one regular season game left, which is on the road tomorrow down in Santa Rosa. Who are you playing?
Roseland University Prep.
Okay. Is that the same school that used to be Roseland Prep?
Roseland Collegiate Prep. There's 2 different systems.
Okay.
And we played Roseland Collegiate Prep last year.
Okay.
This year they're an independent team, which will probably be in the Division 6 section next year.
So your final regular season game tomorrow against Roseland, down in the Santa Rosa area. Then you have a bye.
Mine because of a forfeit.
Okay.
Florida Arena forfeit.
So now with 8-man football, it seems like there's more and more schools, and unfortunately some teams aren't even playing 8-man football anymore, but it seems like there's more and more schools that are kind of going in that direction, smaller schools throughout the state of California.
There's like 108 8-man teams in the state of California. And so, yes, they are, but it is still a challenge to keep football programs in the small schools.
So what are some of the things that you like about this year's team?
Attitude, willingness to adapt to what we need to do, and willing to learn to continue to play this game and take things as they come to us, and then try to exploit anything we see.
and you also have a good coaching staff down there. It's kind of a team effort down there. I know that, you know, the Olsen family was so instrumental and so involved with South Fork athletics. And when you talk about a small school, it definitely has to be a team effort as far as a lot of people really helping out to make things possible.
It definitely does. It really takes an army to
Sure.
run a football program, and the parents and the booster club behind it. You know, so yeah, it's the Olsen family is missed. You know, they're going to be helping out with the Fortuna crowd up here.
Visiting with South Fork head football coach Carl Terrell at halftime. Just a couple more questions for Carl before we let him go. Tell us a little bit about your game tomorrow, your thoughts on the matchup, and I know you've got a great scouting department, so give us a preview of what you're expecting from your opponent tomorrow.
Our opponent tomorrow is an independent school. This is their first year of football. We actually matched up with them in a scrimmage in August with them, and so I feel pretty confident what we have to show them and what we've done the last 8 weeks, that we should be able to take care of business tomorrow and get ready for the playoffs.
Okay, and speaking of taking care of business in the playoffs, what are some of the things your team is going to have to do in the postseason to have the same type of success that they did last year?
I believe that our defense has to step up more and make big plays on defense so we can turn it over to our high-powered offense that we have, so we have more opportunities in offense. So our defense has to step up.
Coach, as always, hey, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by and joining us at halftime. Good luck tomorrow. Good luck the rest of the way of the regular season, and good luck in the postseason. And I just think it's exciting that you guys are still in the football business and having the type of success that you are having 8-man football. So congratulations to you and your coaching staff and your players on another outstanding season, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much, Tag.
Always good to see Carl Terrell. Yeah, exactly. See you
Go
at the Humboldt
Cubs.
County Fair. Exactly. Go Cubs. A little more than 4 minutes remaining in the halftime show. 21-21 our score at halftime. And we're going to take a break, and we'll come back with more on the halftime show right after this timeout. Yeah, if you want to do a 90, hey, his feet aren't that small. What size shoes do you wear? 8.5. 8.5. That's bad intel. We thought you were like a 5 or a 6.
I'm 5'6".
You're 5'6". There you go. Exactly. 8.5. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Carl. That was great. Thank you. That was great, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I thought they would open it up right there. Checks that our number 28 was sophomore. He got burned on a touchdown.
Well, that guy made a great
I thought they might go after him here.
Andy called me the other night and talked about St. Louis defense, you know. And I see
What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you doing all right?
6 or 7, 5 yards off the goal. Right. But how our scouting did 5 years ago, I scouted every pattern.
Yeah.
And knew where they were coming to what. You know, right now they need a guy to spy that quarterback. Same way to spread them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got to respect that. No one's watching.
No, he's picking
I believe I had 1, 2, or 3 guys watching the quarterback.
I did that against Eureka. They didn't have much success with it. They were trying to do the same thing. They didn't take this all over the ground. He's a good athlete.
33.
Right, he is too.
Welcome back to Husky Field. Want to thank South Fork head football coach Carl Terrell for stopping by and joining us at halftime and talking 8-man football. Our score at halftime, St. Bernard's 21 and Fortuna 21. Fortuna will receive the second half kickoff. Let's recap the scoring in the first half. St. Bernard stepped out to a 14-0 lead. Fortuna won the toss. They decided to defer to the second half, and St. Bernard's ended up getting a nice kickoff return. And with that nice kickoff return, they had a short field to work with. Hagler with a 55-yard kickoff return. And St. Bernard, 6 plays, 30 yards. The numbers on the scoring drive. A 16-yard touchdown pass from Omey to Hagler. The extra point was good by Thrapp. And with 9:28 left in the first quarter, St. Bernard's jumps out to a 7-0 lead. And then after stopping Fortuna on downs, the Crusaders came right back, 3 plays, 67 yards. They scored with 3:29 left in the opening quarter on a 65-yard touchdown pass from Omey to Hagler. Thrapp's extra point was good. Omey and Hagler hook up for the second time. Hagler now with 8 touchdowns this season. Then the Huskies answer. 8 plays, 63 yards. They score with 11:33 left in the second quarter on a 3-yard touchdown run by Montez. His 6th rushing touchdown of the season. His 9th touchdown overall. The extra point was good by Adelano. That made the score 14-7. Fortuna then comes back and takes advantage of a special teams breakdown by St. Bernard's. Omey was back in punt formation, high snap. Did a nice job of just going up and catching the ball, but then was tackled after a short gain trying to run for the first down. 6 plays, 30 yards, the numbers on the scoring drive. Fortuna scores with 8:56 left in the second quarter on a 2-yard touchdown run by Claus. Claus with his 6th touchdown of the season. Extra point was good by Adelano. That made the score 14-14. St. Bernard's then comes back and scores with 7:22 left in the second quarter. 4 plays, 55 yards, 28-yard touchdown pass from Omey to Taylor. Omey with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game, his 21st of the season. Taylor scores his 4th touchdown of the year. The extra point was good by Thrapp, and St. Bernard's regained the lead 21-14. And then Fortuna ties it with 50 seconds left in the first half. 6 plays, 51 yards, another touchdown run by Montez, this time a 12-yard run. His 7th rushing touchdown, his 10th touchdown overall. Extra point good by Thrapp, and we are tied at halftime, 21-21. When we come back, we will take a quick look at the scoreboard and get you ready for the second half kickoff with our score. The visiting St. Bernard's Crusaders 21, the Fortuna Huskies 21, and we'll be back with the start of the second half right after this 60-second timeout. Thanks, Charlie. 95.1 and 105.3.
Because I'm headed home because I got to leave at 7.
95.1, 106.7. 95.1, 106.7.
What's best out?
95. Perfect. Good to see you. Thanks for coming up. Okay. Yeah, that worked out great. Was it fine? That worked out great. Good.
It's a new rule. It's the first time that they've ever called it and
On the
enforced
punt.
it. On the punt, yeah.
Did you ask about the best one?
I didn't.
Oh, come on!
No, it wasn't good. I wanted to start off the conversation
Right.
cordially.
Don't you know there's a chain gang here? You can use the chain gang. It's okay if you call
Well,
for
they
it.
figured that out later.
We're going to be back on in just a second. Dave Filippini rejoins me here at halftime. Special thanks to Southwark head coach Carl Terrell for stopping by and joining us at halftime. Our score 21-21 at halftime. Update on the big battle in the Little Fort Conference over the Redwood Bowl between Hoopah Valley and Arcata. What was the last score we had?
14-6 at halftime. Arcata is leading. The game's been a little contentious. There's been an ejection.
Little chippy.
And
So Arcata leads Hoopah Valley at halftime 14-6.
yes.
And then tomorrow in the Little Fort Conference, Ferndale will be hosting Indianapolis. Elsewhere tonight in the Big Fort Albee Stadium, it's Delmort and Eureka playing one another. We'll try to get an update on that game. Baseball update, what do you got?
Last time I saw was 5-2, so I haven't seen anything since then.
Milwaukee leading Los Angeles 5-2 in Game 6 of the National. 5-2, bottom of the sixth. And then you did have a chance to talk with the officials.
Yes.
And you threw them a softball instead of one of those hard-hitting questions. We'll get you up to speed as a member of the media. You got 5-1, 5-2. So tell us a little bit about what you found out from the officials and talking with them at halftime.
Yeah, to remind people, there was a punt play, and there was a procedure against the Fortuna, the punting team, and instead of re-punting, after the penalty, instead of re-kicking the ball, they tacked on 5 yards for the procedure call at the end of the punt. So I went down and talked to the officials. I said, what happened there? And they said, this is a new rule this year. They don't like re-kicking because kicking plays, as we speculated, there's injury concerns on kicking plays more than regular plays through scrimmage. And they said that was the first time that they had an opportunity to enforce that new rule this year. So it is a new rule, and
so that's exactly what we saw. Okay.
Number 31.
So we appreciate, I want to thank Roland Freehern and his crew for that explanation. So Thrapp's going to kick off for the 40-yard line, and he's going to kick this one away, as it's going to be taken on the run at the 22 and then fumbled and then picked up by Boyd. Keep in mind, Nyberg is out, so Boyd, great Boyd, 5'10", 175, a junior backup running back, pressed into duty, really kind of had problems handling that kickoff.
Yeah, it bounced off his chest and kind of hit the ground. He looked a little off balance, managed to pick it up and got another 3 or 4 yards, but avoiding a disaster, we'll put it that way.
Sancho will be split to the right. Taylor's going to be split to the left. Now that's Lorenzo in motion. It's going to be an inside handoff to the ball carrier for the Huskies. That is Medeiros, and he's going to pick up 5 yards out to the 35.
Another counter play, and we'll see how well the Crusaders, hopefully they can adjust to that play for their sake. But,
5 yards
we're going to find out. So far, no adjustment, because that play's been very effective for the Huskies the whole first half.
Gaines checks in, Sancho checks out. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Claus this time running the option. And getting to the edge is Pontes. And Pontes across the 45 lowers his shoulder before being shoved out of bounds by Thrapp near midfield.
Yeah, Kevin Gage, 12, threw a great block downfield and sprung him for about an extra 5 to 7 yards there. And so, one thing that kind of goes unsung a lot, especially on sweep plays, how well do your wide receivers block? And that time Gage showed us he did a good job of blocking and got a lot of extra yards out of it.
Medeiros in the backfield, in motion to the right is Pontes. It's going to be an inside handoff to Medeiros. And Medeiros, with some running room, breaks a couple tackles. He's inside the 30. He's inside the 20. He's still on his feet. But he's finally going to be dragged down at the 40-yard line.
Wow. Nice counter play again. And that time, nice lane to run through. Stiff arm a couple of defenders. Turned on the speed. St. Bernard
ball is spotted at the Crusader 4-yard line.
That was a heck of a run by Medeiros. Good job, offensive line for the Huskies.
Gain of 46 and a first down. So the Huskies knocking on the door. That's Besancini in the backfield. And it's going to be an inside handoff to Besancini. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. The ball may have popped loose. Hagler's got the football.
Besancini, the ball carrier.
Waiting for some type of indication from the officials.
Well, they're holding up 2 fingers for
that it's going to be second down.
Hayden Gordon on the tackle.
St. Bernard's defense thinking that they may have forced a turnover, but the play may have been blown in. So it's going to be 2nd and goal at the 2. And that's Claus on a quarterback sneak. Tries to blitz the play, and he does. Touchdown Fortuna, and the Huskies have their first lead of the game.
Yeah, late call, touchdown call by the side judge here. The line
number 11, Zach Claus in for the
touchdown. We're all kind of waiting, bated breath here, but he got enough of a jump or surge there to break the plane apparently, and but that was an awfully close play.
So Claus on a quarterback sneak.
Uh-oh, got a flag here.
Penalty.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against St. Bernard's.
I'm guessing that was the coach.
You think that came from the sidelines? We'll check with Coach Saunderson on that one.
I heard somebody yelling, and he was out on the field. Coach Tomlin was out on the field, so unless a player was still chipping over there, I don't know. So it looks like you're going to enforce that on the kickoff.
During the timeout, we'll try to get an explanation. So Adelano now will attempt the extra point. Claus will hold. Medeiros will snap. Snap spot, the kick is up, and it is
80,
Good.
Luis Atalanos.
So
extra point
10:26
attempt is good.
remaining in the third quarter.
Huskies
Our
28,
score,
Crusaders
Fortuna
21.
28, St. Bernard's 21, and we'll be back with more right after this timeout. Tomlin's talking to Tree Hearn now. Coach Saunderson, who got the penalty? Who was the penalty on?
It was on the sideline.
Sideline? Okay, perfect. Thank you.
That's what it looked like, because when Traeger threw the flag, he was kind of walking away from the PAT, kind of like facing, you know, away from the scoreboard, and he heard something through the flag. So that usually means there wasn't a player involved. He wasn't within earshot of most of the players.
In the parking lot.
And Tallman was out on the field yelling.
Right.
pretty easy guess there. You hear what he said?
What's that?
I said, I wonder what he said.
We got the 15.
We think it was St. Bernard's sidelines. 5 plays, 70 yards, the numbers on that scoring drive. 2-yard touchdown run by Claus, his second of the game, his 7th of the season.
Conduct penalty on the Crusaders
In the
is being
first
assessed
7
on the kickoff.
games, Claus had 2 rushing touchdowns, but in the last 2 weeks, he has a total of 5, 3 last week and 2 tonight. And now Adelano will kick off from the 45 after that 15-yard penalty against the St. Bernard's
Number
pitch.
80, Luis Atalanos sent the kick.
Now, do you kick this one away, or do you think about maybe doing the onside thing? And I think they're just going to kick it into the end zone. And it's going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback.
Atalanos kick goes out
But
of
that
the
would
end
be an
zone.
opportunity if you felt comfortable or confident with your special teams because of the field position to maybe try an onside kick.
Yeah, well, it's certainly 15 yards. You're going to have the opposing team 15 yards deeper, assuming they just jump on it right there and don't move it forward.
Ball is spotted at the Crusaders
Yeah, so the
20-yard
field position,
line.
but you know now it's even a little bit better than that. But you don't get a chance at recovering your onside kick. So again, risk reward. Every coach makes up their own mind about that in special teams.
Important possession for St. Bernard's, who find themselves trailing for the first time, 28-21, and they're going to give it to Hagler on a fly sweep. He gets to the outside. He's across the 25. He's across the 30, and he's still on his feet before being dragged down at the 36-yard line. A gain of 16 on that first down run by Hagler.
24,
Motion
Dayton
sweep.
Taylor on the
Hagler did a
stop
great
for the
job of running hard.
Huskies.
He's having a big game tonight. He has been catching passes and running hard, making plays on defense, and really doing a great job considering he was a little iffy after an injury against Eureka.
Hagler, 11 carries, 111 yards, an average of 10.1 yards per carry coming into tonight's game. And on that play, he picks up 16. Omey back the pass, flushed out of the pocket, looks downfield, has a man wide open, and the pass is going to be caught over there on the far side of the field.
Number 10, Omey's
Looks like that
pass
was
is
Thrapp
number
who made the
23.
catch and then was shoved out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
They blew the whistle.
Yeah,
up
it
before.
looked like a little stop route or something, but he was wide open, and
If there
Omey
was
put
a
the
flag,
ball
it's
right on
probably
his
on-
chest
on-
for a nice gain. And in the run after the
Penalty
catch,
marker on
picked
the
up a few
play.
more yards. So nice connection from Omey to Thrapp.
Line of scrimmage was the 33. It was a 29-yard pickup, and then we've got a flag down at the end of the play.
It's like on
Off
the,
the lower. I wonder what it
And
was.
it's going to be
it's like half the
Personal
going to be a personal foul
Personal
penalty
foul on the
against the
Huskies.
Huskies.
I wonder what
They
late
tackled him out of bounds.
tacking him out of that.
Was it a late hit? Okay.
Yeah, they blown the whistle and the guy came and hit it. It wasn't a real
Ball is
flagrant
spotted
one,
at
but
the
he definitely
23-yard
tackled
line
him.
of the Huskies. First and 10
I want
for
to
the
thank our
Crusaders.
spotter, Dr. Luke Omey, for helping us out.
Eyes.
There you go. But St. Bernard's with an opportunity. They have a first down at the 23-yard line. Omey drops the snap, now looks downfield, and his pass is going to
Omey's
be
pass is complete to
got.
Thrapp.
That's Thrapp making a diving
Gain
catch
of 6
inside the
yards
20
on the
at the
play. We'll bring up
18-yard
second
line.
down.
Again, a little, the little kind of stop routes and the back shoulder passes being pretty effective here the last 2 downs.
Taylor now matched up against Pratt, who's playing cornerback on the right side. Got Taylor on the left side. It's going to be 2nd and 5 for the St. Bernard's offense. Crusaders trail by 7. Now an empty backfield, and Omey on a quarterback draw is going to run straight up the middle and maybe pick up a couple of yards to about the 16.
You get the sense that the Fortuna defense is saying, we're not going to let Omey run the ball effectively. You're going to beat us, you got to throw it. Kind of philosophy here, because they've been doing a pretty good job of containing him on the ground tonight for the most part. He's had some good runs, but not like we've seen in the past.
And what some teams are doing with Omey is kind of having a spy, having someone just assigned to him, which makes perfect sense because he's such a dual threat at quarterback.
Absolutely. I think his best weapon is his legs, and Fortuna's trying to take that away.
3rd and 4, Omey back to pass, looks across the middle, has a man open, and the pass is incomplete. It was intended for Fairfield. And a pass ended up being broken up by Gage. So a very important 4th down play coming up. It's going to be 4th and a short 4 for the St. Bernard's offense.
Gage did a good job. He was running stride for stride, got a hand up there, and batted that ball away, deflected it enough. So puts St. Bernard's in a must-do situation here. They need 4 yards.
Twins left, twins right. That's Simone in the backfield. Here comes the blitz. Omey's looking into the end zone, has a man open, and the pass is caught in the corner of the end zone by Thrapp as Omey kind of doing a Zach Claus impersonation, because Claus does that as well as anyone, dropping one in the bucket to Thrapp, who had the presence of mind to realize that he was running out of room. He kind of slowed down, made that over-the-shoulder catch, and was into the end zone for the touchdown.
Kept his feet in and did a great job concentrating on the football, and the pass was right where nobody but Thrapp could catch the ball. So perfect pass, perfect catch, touchdown, Crusaders.
So Thrapp will try to tie it up with an extra point with 8:31 to go. And the extra point is going to be blocked. So we'll take a break in the action with 8:31 left in the 3rd quarter. It's Fortuna 28, St. Bernard's 27, and we'll be back with more right after this timeout.
Blocked by number 23, Jason Basonsny.
Fortuna's been close to blocking every
Huskies 28, Crusaders 27.
Got it.
Omey to Thrapp. Six plays, 80 yards. Omey with his 4th touchdown pass of the game. 22nd of the season.
Number 23, Thrapp, the kick for the Crusaders. Number 31, Dre Boyd, and number 23, Jason Basonsny to receive for the Huskies.
Omey with his 4th touchdown pass of the game. His 22nd of the season. Thrapp scores his 8th touchdown of the year, but the extra point was blocked. It's a 1-point game. Now we've got an onside kick. It's going to be covered up by Fortuna. It took a couple of big bounces, but Taylor doing a nice job of fielding it in Fortuna territory at the 48-yard line.
I was going to say earlier that Fortuna's been very close to blocking almost every PAT tonight. This time they actually got in it, but they've been right in the face of the kicker on every PAT tonight. And the kick in 2 cases went kind of underneath the defender, but that time they got it, making it a 1-point game.
And now we have a brief stoppage in play as they're going to move the football in. Matthews, the umpire, spots the ball at the 49-yard line. 6 plays, 80 yards, the numbers on that scoring drive. 18-yard touchdown pass from Omey to Thrapp on 4th down. And on 1st down, they're going to pitch it to Pontes, who tries to get to the edge. He cuts back, and he carries the ball into St. Bernard's territory before being brought down by Daniel and Hagler.
Number 99.
At the 46-yard line, a gain of 5.
Yeah, Crusaders did a pretty good job of getting to the edge and turning the play back upfield. They just didn't quite stop him. Where I thought they were going to have him cold, and Walker did a good job of cutting back up and getting some yardage there.
It's going to be pitched the other
Going to
way.
be second and a short 6. Claus under center with Medeiros in the backfield. He's just going to dump it off out in the flat to Sancho, who makes the catch. And then Sancho's brought down after a short gain by Finodi and Hagler. And that will set up a 3rd and 3 for the Husky offense. Fortuna 28, St. Bernard's 27. 7:35 remaining in the third quarter as the clock continues to move.
Quick bubble screen. St. Bernard's D doing a good job of getting there quick.
Backs are going to be split behind Claus, and Claus this time is going to hand the ball off to Lorenzo, and he's going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Number 54, Cole Petrucia, along with number 25, defensive end Caden Gordon, in on the tackle. And we've got a huge 4th down play coming up for the Huskies, and we know that Fortuna is going to try to draw St. Bernard's offsides, Coach.
Absolutely. They're good at it, so they're going to try it again for sure here, and hopefully they've got a play called as well.
And they're going to run a play, and Claus running the option is going to spin for the first down, and Claus is still on his feet before being brought down at the 34-yard line. A gain of 10 and a first down, and Claus doing a nice job faking the handoff, keeping it himself, and picking up more than enough for a first down.
Yeah, just when you think you're stopping the dive, he keeps the ball. So he's done a pretty good job of reading tonight in that option play, and that time spinning off would-be tacklers and making a nice pickup.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. That's Gage in motion to the right. Inside handoff to Pontes. And Hagler makes a big play defensively as tackling Pontes after a 5-yard gain. And he had a big hole to work with. And Hagler comes up and makes a nice tackle to prevent an even bigger gain for the Husky offense.
Once again, Hagler's having a big game, both sides of the football, doing a great job out there.
Going to be 2nd and 5. This time they're going to give it to Pontes, and Pontes is going to cut back, and he's going to carry the ball to the 25-yard line, where he will be close to a first down.
Hagler and Finati.
Just a little bit short.
So it's going to be 3rd and less than a yard. Update from the Redwood Bowl.
Yeah, Arcata now leads 22-6. They scored on the first play of the third quarter. Alan Schmidt sending in the...
There you go. Always good to hear from Coach Schmidt.
Coach Schmidt.
This time going to be an inside handoff, and that looks like it's Lorenzo, the ball carrier, and he's going to run straight up the middle and pick up a couple of yards and pick up enough for a first down. Actually, it's Medeiros, and Medeiros picks up 2 yards and a first down before being tackled by Finodi.
Got enough forward progress there to move the chains.
Huskies started this drive at their own 49 after recovering an onside kick. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 23. Pause, pitches, fakes the pitch, and will throw downfield to a wide open Lorenzo, who makes the catch before being tackled by Finodi at the 11-yard line. So a gain of 12 and a first down on that pass out in the flat to Lorenzo.
Yeah, did a good job there of faking the toss sweep and then turning around. Looked like he wanted 17 going deep, but he was covered and threw the under pattern and for a nice gain.
1st and 10 at the 11. This time, Claus running the option is going to spin inside the 5, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Ball pops out, but Claus had already broken the plane, and he's into the end zone on an 11-yard touchdown run, his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Spin moves are working well for the Huskies tonight. That's for certain. They've been in the end zone a few times because of it. So Claus doing a good job of reading that dive being stopped and hanging on to it. And that's the veer.
So Adelano will attempt the extra point. Good snap, spot kick is up, and it is good. So with 4:59 left in the third quarter, it's Fortuna 35, St. Bernard's 27, and we'll be back with more right after this timeout. Thank you.
Huskies 35.
5-2 middle of the 7th. Okay, thanks.
27.
8 plays, 51 yards. Five-two, middle of the 7th. Okay, thanks, Charlie.
Brew Crew. Have they won a World Series? They have not.
No. No,
Even
they
in the
were in the
Yow-
World
even in the
Series.
Yow-
They were in the World Series when they were in the American. Harvey's Wallbangers, like back in the 80s.
Robin Yow.
I think so. Yes, exactly. Yep,
Corbin
yep.
Thomas. And
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, Harvey Keene was the manager.
Yeah. Old Tiger. They lost to the Cardinals. Does that sound right? Wasn't that the Breweries?
Number 80, Luis.
Three
Aguilar
possessions,
for the
three
Huskies.
touchdowns here in the second half, and Fortuna leads St. Bernard's 35-27 as Adelano will get set to kick off from the 40-yard line. And it's going to be kind of a squib kick that's going to be fielded on a couple of bounces by junior Josh Daniels at the 46-yard line. So the numbers on that scoring drive, 8 plays, 51 yards, and 11-yard touchdown run by Claus. His third rushing touchdown of the game. His 8th of the season. Adelano now a perfect 5 for 5 in extra points. And Fortuna leads by 8. 35-27 with 4:58 remaining in the third quarter.
Nice job by Daniels handling close to a line drive onside kick and falling on it there. Ball's not easy to hang on to coming to you at that speed.
Omey at quarterback with Simone in the backfield. Simone now is going to go in motion to the right. And Omey on a quarterback draw is going to find some running room. And he is across midfield, and he's finally brought down at the 47-yard line. Once again, it looked like that play was not going anywhere, but Omey being very patient, finding enough daylight to pick up 8 yards on the play.
Yeah, they stopped the initial push, and then Omey could bounce it off to the right a little bit. Got a nice run out of the one of the better read option runs he's run here recently.
So Simone in the backfield has replaced Finotti at running back. It's going to be 2nd and short, 2nd and 2. Simone now lined up on the right side. They fake the handoff to Simone, and then Omey's going to be tackled for a loss back near midfield.
Well, I don't know how the Huskies blitzed on that play. It looked like the defensive lineman got him, but they're getting some penetration there. A pretty impressive surge by the defensive line there. And a little face mask.
Face mask penalty against Fortuna. As Payne and Valenzuela were basically in the St. Bernard's backfield, and in the process of tackling Omey, somebody must have grabbed his face mask.
Yeah, is this a 15? It is.
Ooh. And Matthews stepping that one off. And a big momentum swing. Instead of Omey being tackled for a 4-yard loss, it's a 15-yard face mask penalty against the Huskies. The referee tonight is Roland Trier. The umpire, Ed Matthews. The linesman, Chris Peterson. The line judge is Jalen Lewis. And the back judge is Patrick Hawson. And that gives St. Bernard's a first down at the Fortuna 35. Ed Matthews discussing the situation with Roland Trier. Had a chance to visit with Ed earlier tonight. Ed's been gone the last couple weeks. He and his wife went on a nice vacation to the East Coast.
Husky 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Crusaders.
So 1st and 10 at the 35.
Roll him out.
Simone in motion. Omey looks across the middle. Pass was intended for Thrapp. Pass falls incomplete. I was broken up. It was broken up on the play by Taylor, but we've got a flag down, and it appears that it might be pass interference against the Huskies.
That's what it looked like from here. It looked like the defender was on Thrapp's back there. And,
kind of a bang-bang play, but Taylor might have arrived just a little bit too soon.
Yeah.
And I think with pass interference at the high school level, it's just a 15-yard penalty.
Right.
Line of scrimmage, the 35-yard line.
Oh, it's a face mask?
The call is a face mask on an incomplete pass.
Okay.
Face mask
Wow.
penalty. Wow.
I didn't see that, but it was on the
It's a
intended
5-yard
receivers.
penalty.
That's what
Ball
the
is
flag came.
spotted at the
Because we
30-yard
thought it
line.
was going to be
1st and
pass
5 for the
interference.
Crusaders.
So the 5-yard penalty will make it 1st and 5. And on 1st and 5, Omey wants to throw. He's looking downfield, and the pass is incomplete. It was intended for Thrapp. Good coverage on the play by Taylor.
Number 24,
Cada
Hayden
22,
Taylor,
who
pass
ball
defense
14.
for the Huskies.
Warriors
Ball
coming
just
back and
scored.
making it a one-possession game in the third quarter.
5 for the Crusaders.
With 8:28 left in the third.
I want to thank Jim Monge and Alan Schmidt for those updates.
No, but he's their beast.
So it will be 2nd and 5 at the 30. Crusaders moving from our right to our left. Omey back to pass, has a man wide open, and it's caught by Fairfield, who picks up enough for a first down before stepping out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Fairfield was in a walking boot earlier this week after spraining his ankle against Eureka. Didn't even practice on Wednesday. He was going to be a game-time decision, and he is good to go tonight. Playing just offense. Haven't seen him on the defensive side. So it's a first down at the 23. Omey back to pass, has time now, will roll to his right, and he's just going to kind of throw this one away as the pass was intended.
Pass is incomplete.
Oh shit, he got creamed on that one.
Looked like it was intended for Thrapp. But Omey doing a good job of just kind of throwing that one away, Coach.
Yeah, everyone was covered, and he was under some pressure there. So
2nd and
yeah,
10 for the
not a bad throwaway there.
Clock stops, 3 minutes and 25 seconds left in the third quarter. The Fortuna Huskies 35, the St. Bernard's Crusaders 27.
Let's go now.
Empty backfield with trips to the left, twins to the right. Omey now is going to keep it himself, and Omey is going to be hit and tackled by Valenzuela and Johnson for a 2-yard loss back at the 25.
Lexi Valenzuela, number
Getting some
67.
pretty good penetration. The front guys are starting to win the battles up there on the defensive line, and there's been a lot of pressure on the passing game, and they've been stuffing the run up pretty good here recently. So St. Bernard's has a little blocking scheme adjustment to go to work out here, I think.
Third down.
Loss of 2 makes it 3rd and 12. Thrapp is split to the right. Fairfield slot to the right. Taylor split left. Hagler slot left. Omey looks left. Now steps up. Wants to air it out. Looking downfield for Hagler.
Yeah!
And the pass is broken up on a nice defensive play, but we got a penalty flag down. Basansity with the coverage on Hagler appeared to reach in and knock the ball loose. But we're going to have a pass interference call against the Huskies, and the Fortuna coaching staff, in addition to the fans here at Husky Field, not real happy with that call.
Well, my best guess is the defender reached in with his right hand and kind of made contact with the receiver. He batted the ball down with his left hand, but his right hand was making contact with the receiver across his chest. That's probably what they called if my vision's anywhere accurate tonight. So,
pass interference against the Fortuna defense.
all of a sudden, penalties making kind of a bigger deal in the second half.
The penalty, the Crusaders will have first down.
Few big
Ball
calls.
is spotted at the Husky 12-yard line.
So 1st and 10 at the Fortuna 12. 2:37 left in the third quarter. And Omey now running behind that jumbo formation.
Call timeout.
But before the
There's a
snap,
timeout
Fortuna's
on the
going to
field
call a
prior to
timeout.
the snap.
We're going to keep it
Timeout,
right here with
Huskies.
2:36 to go. Of course, tonight's game, a rematch of last year's ESPN Instant Classic, when the two teams played in the semifinals of the North Coast Section Division IV playoffs at Crusader Field in Eureka on Thanksgiving weekend on November 25th on a Saturday afternoon, and Fortuna outlasted St. Bernard's 34-33 in what was a heavyweight fight with both teams going back and forth. And tonight's game very reminiscent of that, the same type of game.
Back and forth, lots of scoring, and very close game. That was about as exciting a football game as I've ever seen. And
St. Bernard's had a chance to win it with the 2-point conversion.
Yep. Ended
And
up
they
losing
ran
by
a
one.
running play. They gave the ball to Roach, who was tackled in the backfield.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Tomlin remembers that game well. I lost a one-point playoff game
Against
myself,
Justin
and
Siena. You were a
those things-
2-point conversion away
Yep.
of upsetting Rich Catruvo and Justin Siena upsetting the Braves.
Yep. And,
Made that great comeback against them.
Yeah, it was a great game, but we fell just a point short.
1st and 10 at the 12. This time it's going to be a quarterback sweep with Omey running the ball.
Number 10,
and
Omey,
Omey's
quarterback
inside the
keep.
10 to about the 8. You fell behind early, made a big comeback in the second half, and you ended up scoring and having a chance to win the game.
Yeah, with something like less than 20 seconds, we went for 2 and didn't make it. And that was the difference in the ball game. So those things haunt you. What could have
Exactly,
been,
even to this night.
To this night,
Yes.
yeah. Picking at a scab.
Gain of 4. It's going to be 2nd and 8. Omey wants to throw. He's looking for Thrapp. Pass intended for Thrapp, and Thrapp goes up and makes the catch in double coverage.
Omey's pass is complete.
Nice job by Thrapp. He was guarded on the play by Gage and Taylor, but he was able to get enough separation. And Thrapp goes up and makes the catch to make it a 2-point game. And Omey with his 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Yeah, Gage had him, covered from the backside, and Taylor was covering him in the front. Taylor falls down, and there was good concentration. He went up, high pointed the football, came down in the end zone, touchdown Crusaders, and here's a big 2-point conversion.
So speaking of 2-point conversions, they're going to pitch the ball, and trying to get to the edge is Hagler, and he's into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And with 1:54 left in the third quarter, we've got a brand new ball game, 35-35, and we'll be back with more right after this timeout.
Huskies 35, Crusaders 35.
All right, perfect. Buckle up, baby, buckle up.
We got a game.
Okay, 9-yard pass. 9-yard pass.
That's a great point.
Yeah, I mean, seriously,
Omey
they'd be up by what?
to Thrapp.
7, they'd be up by 14 right now. Or no, they'd be up by 7.
Hagler run.
Hopefully their coach doesn't realize that.
35. Four possessions, 4 touchdowns in the second half. St. Bernard's 9 plays, 54 yards. 9-yard touchdown pass from Omey to Thrapp. Second time the two of them hook up here in the second half. Omey with his 5th touchdown pass of the game, his 23rd of the season. Thrapp scores for the 9th time, and now Thrapp will try an onside kick. The ball is loose. It's going to bounce a couple of times, and it's loose near the 35-yard line. As a Fortuna player was there, it ended up getting away from him, but it appears that Fortuna eventually recovered that onside kick. So some anxious moments for head coach Mike Benbow and his coaching staff is that live football just kind of kept bouncing and bouncing and bouncing.
And not bouncing straight as
Ball
footballs
is
tend
spotted
to
at
do.
the Husky
So
37
good
yard
job
line.
by, looked like Kobe Letter jumping on that thing, keeping it in Husky possession.
So they get the touchdown pass, the 2-point conversion by Hagler, and Claus on first down. He's going to hand the ball off, and the ball carrier for the Huskies
Number 11
is across
Zach
the
Claus
40
on the quarterback keep.
and out to about the 44-yard line, and Claus keeping it
Brought
himself
down by number 3.
is going to pick up
Callie
7
Devine.
yards on the play. Fortuna just trying to wear down St. Bernard's defensively.
Gain of 7 yards on the play
35-35.
will
It's
bring
like a
up second
heavyweight
down for the
fight
Huskies.
tonight at Husky Field. Going to be 2nd and a long 3. Claus is going to hand the ball off, and the ball carrier for the Huskies is going to spin across the line of scrimmage and be close to a first down.
Number 21, Joey Pontus on the carry, good for a first down for the
And
Huskies.
Pontes picks up 3 and a first down.
Hagler on the stop.
Yeah, the spin move has been very generous to the Huskies tonight. So, last drive by the Crusaders, few mistakes by the Huskies there with the penalties, but now they've got a
First down at the 48. The backs are split behind Claus, and Claus this time with an inside handoff is going to give the ball to Basansini, and Basansini's across midfield, and he's going to pick up 3 yards
Gain of
to
4
the St.
yards on
Bernard's
the
49
play.
as we are inside of a minute. Sancho checks in as Gage checks out. Taylor will be split left, Sancho slot left. That's Pontes and Basansini in the backfield. They're going to give it to Basansini, and he's got some running room over on the far side of the field. And he's inside the 40 to the 34-yard line, a gain of 15 and a first down.
Once again, the counter play coming up big for the Huskies since about the beginning of the second quarter. They've been running a lot of counter plays, and boy, they can be really effective when you catch the defense over pursuing a little bit. So, Huskies doing a good job running that play, executing that play all night today.
And I think that's going to be it, as the Fortuna offense now working their way to the sidelines as the clock continues to move. And that will be it for the third quarter. So whatever you do, don't go anywhere. At the end of 3 quarters, it's St. Bernard's 35, Fortuna 35, and we'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this timeout. Got any over?
Yeah, there's one in the bag right there somewhere. I'll get it.
Thank you, Coach. You guys need anything? You guys all right?
I'm good. Thank you.
Huh? It's all good?
I need a fumble.
Need a fumble?
Yeah.
Need a turnover?
Yeah.
I need Coach Rhodes over there screaming.
Who's that? Coach Rhodes? Is he over there?
No.
Where is he tonight?
I don't know. I was kind of.
He usually sits right down here.
Yeah.
Good ball game, huh?
Great ball game.
Only been the 1 turnover.
Yeah.
Big offensive stats. I like.
Fourth quarter just underway, and on the first play of the fourth quarter, Claus kind of loses his balance in running the option, and he's going to be tripped up right at the line of scrimmage.
Number 56.
Yeah, that's tough. You want to get positive yardage every play, but these miscues happen. I don't know if the field's getting a little slicker or not. Temperature seems to have mellowed out a little bit here.
The man's not eligible.
35-35. It's going to be an inside handoff to Medeiros, and Medeiros, as always, just like Pontes, running very hard, is inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 5 on the play, and it's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Husky offense. We're tied at 35 here in the early stages of the fourth quarter. Very important Big Four conference game and Division 4 game taking place tonight at Husky Field. Back split behind Claus. Claus this time running the option is going to keep it himself, and he's going to be upended by Taylor just inside the 25-yard line at about the 24. And he appears to be just short of a first down, so it's going to be 4th.
Right in his crotch and smack him.
And less than a yard.
Yeah, they're going to measure this.
Now they're going to call for a measurement. I love this. I just absolutely positively love this. If it's even close now, they're going to measure.
I mean,
This one looks like it's maybe a half a yard short, but they're still going to measure after that faux pas or faux pas, whatever you want to call it, early in the game.
Yeah. just got an update from Arcata. The field lights just went dark at the university.
Wow.
So there's been a bit of a timeout.
Okay, so Duncan, interim athletic director. I always love having an opportunity. So interim athletic director Duncan Robbins obviously not paid the power bill up at Humboldt State.
Anything to save money.
Exactly.
Huskies are
Whether
just
it's
short of
whether
that
it's
first
turning out the
down
lights or
marker. We'll
dropping
bring up
football.
4th down and inches
So it's
for
going to
the
be
Huskies.
4th and inches. So we've got a power outage at the Redwood Bowl.
Well, the lights went off for some reason, and so apparently, according to Jim Monge, they expect them to come back on, but it takes a while to get those
Right,
things warmed
exactly.
up and back on again. So a little delay in the game.
And I'll tell you what, those guys up there in the physical plant, Tim Briggs and Randy Davis and Clark Keeney and Tim Cruz and, you know, a lot of those guys, they do a really nice job of just kind of keeping that place running.
I think Tim just retired. I saw him last week, so he's not up there
Following
anymore.
in your footsteps.
Yeah, hey, you know, retirement's a great gig.
So it's going to be 4th and inches. And Claus this time is going to hand the ball off
Number
to
21,
Pontes.
Joey
And
Pontes
Pontes is
first
inside
down
the
for the
20
Huskies.
to the 19-yard line as he picks up 5 yards and a first down.
Yeah, they kind of caught St. Bernard's pinching down into the A-gaps there and ran a little veer just outside the left guard. And he was had a nice lane to run in for a nice pickup.
I think they maybe expected Claus to just keep it himself, and Fortuna doing a nice job of running the football and handing the ball off there. Sancho split to the right, Taylor slot to the right. This time it's going to be an inside handoff to Pontes, and St. Bernard's
Pontes,
defensively
the ball
does a
carrier.
nice job of stopping him after a short gain
Gain
to
of
the
a yard on the
17.
play. Daniel was on the
Got a
stop.
little forward progress there, but it wasn't much. St. Bernard's middle of the defense are doing a good job stuffing up that run.
Chasing the middle of that defensive line, a gain of 2. It's going to be 2nd and 8 as we are inside of 10 minutes. Claus under center with Medeiros and Pontes in the backfield. 2nd and 8. They're going to give the ball and carrying the ball.
Carrier.
That's
Short
Basansini,
gain
who was
on the
actually the
play.
backfield with Pontes, and he's going to be upended after a short gain.
Patricia on the stop.
Yeah, St. Bernard's doing a good job of stopping the counter that
Bring up
time.
3rd
I
down
think
and
they've
9 for the Huskies.
might have figured that thing out a little bit. They're staying home, not over pursuing, and staying low and taking on the blocks. And,
Cole Petruccian on the tackle, just a gain of 1. It's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Huskies at the 17. Now that's Basansini in motion. Claus back to pass, looks across the middle, and making a diving catch is Taylor at the 1-yard line. So Taylor able to make that diving catch and picks up a first down.
Ball is spotted at the 1-yard
running a
line.
crossing pattern across the middle of the field and had about a half a step on the defender. The coverage wasn't bad, but boy, it was a nice throw and catch there.
So 1st and goal at the 1. And now we're going to have a whistle. And it's going to be an offsides penalty against St. Bernard's. Omey with decent coverage on the play, but it was just a nice throw by Claus and an outstanding catch by Taylor.
Yeah, it would be hard to bat down. It was a low pass, so you're not going to, you would have had, he would have had to have dived, if that's a word, with the receiver and reached across. There was, that's a tough play to defend for
Penalty was
anybody. I don't care
offsides
who
on the
you are, so.
Crusaders.
It's going to be 1st and goal from the 1. Coming up is the 12th play of this drive. And Claus is going to hand the ball off and into the end zone for the touchdown.
Number 21, Joey Pontes in for the touchdown.
Yeah, maybe I should have set the over-under higher than 60.
76, a 1-yard touchdown run by Pontes. His 3rd of the game and his 11th touchdown of the season.
Well, another patented, long, time-consuming drive by the Huskies. Lots of plays, time off the clock, and so on. They did have to start with really good field position after the onside kick attempt, but
extra point by Adelano is up and good. So we'll take a break in the action with 8:47 left in the 4th quarter. It's Fortuna 42, St. Bernard's 35, and we'll be back with more right after this timeout. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Anytime. Tag, do you have an iPhone charger?
You know, I don't think I brought my charger with me. Let me see. I charged my phone before I left.
Me too, but
You know I do.
I'm trying to track that Dodgers game.
Oh, it's. Make sure you give that back to me, or I'm toast.
Okay.
I think it's 6-2. 6-2 in the 8th, Coach. Make sure I get my charger back. Charger.
Go, Harmon. Pay attention.
12 plays, 63 yards. The numbers on that scoring drive. 1-yard touchdown run by Pontes.
Number 80, Luis Atalano.
His third touchdown of the game.
Number 13, Luke Fairfield back to
Extra
receive
point
for the
good by
Crusaders.
Atalano, who's a perfect 6 for 6. And Fortuna has regained the lead 42-35. And here's the kick by Atalano. And it's going to be a short kick that's taken by Hagler at the 15. He's across the 20, across the 25. He's still on his feet. He's across the 30, across the 35, and out to the 36-yard line before being tackled by
Number
Leonard.
33, Justin
Nice
Hagler on the
return
return
by
for the
Hagler there.
Crusaders.
Picking up a nice extra bunch of yards.
Dayton Taylor
So these
on the
teams going
tackle.
back and forth with one another. And now it's up to the St. Bernard's offense that trails by 7 with
Ball is spotted on the
8:41 left in the
Crusader
fourth quarter.
37-yard line.
Crusaders moving from our left to our right. Trail by 7. Omey at quarterback sets up, has time, and his pass is going to be deflected
Omey's
by
pass is
Payne
knocked down at
as
the
it
line of
falls
scrimmage.
incomplete out in the flat.
That's
Number
the second
53,
pass
Isaiah
he's knocked
Payne.
down tonight,
Bring up
getting that big
second
arm
down
up there.
for the
Payne's pretty
Crusaders.
tall. What's he going at here? About 6'2", 192, according to the program, and looks like he's got a pretty good reach on him.
Thrapp is split to the right. Fairfield slot to the right.
Huskies going with a 5-man front here recently.
Taylor split to the left, slot to the left is Hagler. Now they want to set up a middle screen and they dump it off, and the pass is going to be caught and then brought down immediately.
Omey's pass is complete.
Looked like the pass was caught
16,
by
Sebastian
Taylor.
Number
And
67,
Corey Johnson on the tackle.
Setting up a screen
Bring up
pass.
third
And,
and 10.
Well defended by the
well
Husky
defended,
defense.
Yeah, 67 didn't bite on it, stayed home, and there was a little slot to the, the little screen pass at the slot. They worked the slot back into the middle of the field, throwing in behind the offensive line.
Empty backfield, trips to the right, twins to the left. 3rd and 10 for St. Bernard, 4-man rush. Omey looks downfield for Hagler, who makes the catch at the 41-yard line inside of Basansity. It was just kind of a basketball play, kind of like a rebound, and Hagler did a nice job of boxing Basansity out.
Yeah, Hagler's been an all-star tonight, both sides of the football. We keep calling his name, whether he's running or catching. Did a great job on the 2-point conversion, stretching across on a sweep. And now making a big catch for first down.
Crusaders able to move the chains after that 22-yard pass play from Omey to Hagler. First down at the 41, and we've got some movement up front along the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be offsides Fortuna.
A 5-yard penalty.
Encroachment there, a little, paying back about 5 yards. St. Bernard has been called for that at least twice tonight, if not 3 times. And Huskies giving one back here.
We were hoping for a competitive and exciting game, and this game has lived up to the hype and then some.
5 for the Crusaders.
Both teams playing very well tonight, coming off tough losses last week in their conference opener.
Well, we talked about this being a desperation game. A loss here. Whoever loses this game tonight is going to be in a real tough spot.
As far as the Big Four conference standings, 1st and 5, the pass is complete out the flat to Hagler, who gets away from a tackle before being dragged down inside the 20-yard line. Basansity making a nice open field tackle at the 30-yard line, but it's good enough for another St. Bernard's first down.
Yeah, Hagler really how they NFL coaches talk about going with a hot hand. Well, he's got the hot hand too.
First and 10 at the 30. Once again, we've got some more movement along the line of scrimmage.
Penalty marker
another
prior
5.
to the snap. Offsides on the
That's
Huskies.
something you don't see that often from a Mike Benbow coach defense, as far as Fortuna being undisciplined and jumping off sides, and it's happened twice on this possession.
I don't know that we've seen one this year.
25-yard
Not
line,
like
first
that.
and
So,
5 for the
they're getting
Crusaders.
drawn off here. Omey, maybe he's got a good hard count. You can't really hear from up here, but it's certainly drawn the Huskies off in this drive.
And it just changes the complexion of things from a play calling standpoint. So it's first and 5 at the 25, empty backfield. Omey, back to pass, looking downfield in the end zone, has a man open, and the pass is complete to Taylor. Omey with his 6th touchdown pass of the game, and once again, St. Bernard's answers to make it a 1-point game.
This PAT will be interesting whether they kick it or go for 2 here, because almost every kick.
Looks like Thrap's got the tee out.
Well, they do. They're going to go for the kick. Fortuna's been in the backfield every time they've tried to kick, so I thought maybe they might think about it too.
Number 23.
Unless they decide to fake it.
attempt the
That's a
extra
possibility
point
as well.
over
Especially with
Omey.
Omey, the holder, being the quarterback. Snap spot, the kick by Thrap is up. Oh, it hits the left upright, and it goes through.
Wow.
So with 6:36 to go, we're tied at 42, and we'll be back with more
Huskies
right after
42,
this timeout.
Crusaders 42.
Perfect.
What a game.
Oh, another ESPN Instant Classic.
I think.
30-yard
Friday
pass.
Night Light.
Exactly. Omey to, was that Taylor?
Yeah.
16, yeah.
Who's going to blink first? Omey to Taylor. Five plays, 63 yards. Hey, Luke, has he thrown 6 in a game before?
I don't think so.
You think this is a career high?
Yeah. I don't know that, but I think so. Well, definitely not this year. Not on varsity for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think the most he's had is 3 or 4.
I know he's had 4. So Thrap makes things interesting with the extra point. After Omey's career high 6th touchdown pass
Number
of the
23,
game,
Thrap
career
the
high at
kick.
the varsity level, and coach, we're tied at 42.
Wow. Yeah, this is, as advertised, quite a matchup.
And Thrap with the onside kick. It's going to bounce a couple of times. And Pontes backpedaled, but then did a nice job of fielding it cleanly after that bounce.
Well, he got a good hop, which isn't always
their
the case
49
here.
yard
But once again, I was always much more of a conservative as a head coach on these onside kicks. But I got to tell you, you give the Huskies the ball at midfield. You're putting your defense in a tough spot here. So, but if you get the ball, you got a better chance. You got a chance to score. So risk reward.
I was just looking at 58.
Here comes the play, the counter play again.
First down at the 49, and this time they're going to run a counter play. And St. Bernard's defensively does a nice job as Lorenzo's tackled after a 1-yard gain.
St. Bernard seems to be answering against that counter play the last series or two here. It hasn't been as effective as it was earlier in the game.
Omey with 6 touchdown passes tonight, 24 this season. Taylor with his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 5th of the year. 42-42 as we approach the midway point of the 4th quarter, and they're going to keep it on the ground on 2nd down. And the ball carrier for the Huskies is Pontes, and he's across midfield to the 46-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it's going to be 3rd and a short 5 for the Fortuna offense.
Bring up 3rd and 5 for the Huskies.
Third and 5, back split behind Claus, and jumping offside.
Penalty marker prior to the snap. Offsides on the Crusaders.
Holy shit,
Is the
that was an
Crusader
offside.
defense.
Yeah, that one was, there was nowhere to hide there. He flew across the line, kind of stumbled into the Husky background.
I think that was Lucindo Gable who may have jumped offsides, and that is going to give the Huskies a first down.
With the penalty, the Huskies will have a first down.
So it's a first down for the Huskies at the St. Bernard's 41. Claus quickly up to the line of scrimmage, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, cuts back, and he's inside the 35 to the 33-yard line before being brought down by Hagler.
Certainly took the pitch away, so Claus made a nice read, keeping the ball and turning that thing upfield and got a nice gain out of it.
We are inside of 5 minutes. Fortuna 42, St. Bernard 42. Taylor split to the left, Sancho to the right. That's Pontes in motion to the right. Inside handoff to Basansone. He's going to spin inside the 30 to the 29 as he picks up enough for another Fortuna first down.
You can kind of feel this long time-consuming drive being put together here, and this is something this Kachunk offense does. They're getting 4 yards in a cloud of dust here, and if they can continue this, they can burn a lot of time off the clock if they can put one in the end zone.
First and 10 for the Huskies at the St. Bernard's 29. This time it's going to be an inside handoff to Medeiros, and he runs straight up the middle to pick up 5 yards on the play before being tackled by Gordon and Hagler. So once again, the Husky offense moving the ball down the field.
Down for the Huskies. The ball is spotted
6 possessions, 6 touchdowns in the second half, Coach.
Yeah, it's been a score fest for sure. Exciting to watch.
2nd and 5. This time they're going to pitch the ball. And the ball carrier for the Huskies, that looks like it's Lorenzo, number 22.
Lorenzo, the ball
and he's going to pick up about 3 yards on the play before they blow the play dead as we are inside of 4 minutes.
Yeah, this is
gain of 3 yards on the play will bring a third down
in
for the
bounds.
Huskies.
And, St. Bernard's has to be looking at that clock going, man, we got to make a stop here or something. And this is chewing up a lot of clock here.
3rd and a long 2. And Claus is going to keep it himself, and he's going to spin inside the 20 to about the 15-yard line before being tackled by Finoti and Taylor. And that is a first down for the Huskies.
Huskies O-line getting a pretty good push there, and this Veer has
First and
been
10 at the Crusader 15-yard line.
doing a pretty good job of shutting down that counter, but the Veer is alive and well here right now, and they're doing Claus doing a good job of reading that play.
Clock continues to move. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 at the 15. Claus is going to pitch it to Lorenzo, who's going to be brought down by Thrapp.
Lorenzo, the ball carrier.
And Cole
Short gain
Patricia
on the play.
at the 13-yard line, a gain of 2.
Thrapp on the tackle for the Crusaders.
St. Bernard's doing a good job of taking the pitch out of the option here. They've been doing a good job with assignment football as far as that goes, but the dive and the keep have been giving them some problems this half.
Basansone back in, Lorenzo checks out. It's going to be Basansone in the backfield with Pontes. 3rd and 7. 2nd and 7. Claus is going to keep it himself, and Claus is going to be brought down by Thrapp at about the 8-yard line.
There's a timeout on the field.
2:34 left. St. Bernard's has
Crusaders
called
call
a
a
timeout.
I think this is a smart move by St. Bernard's calling timeout because the clock has been, Fortuna got this ball with, 5 minutes left in the game here, and or more, and they've been chewing up
6:36.
6:36, yeah, they've chewed up 4 minutes
About
on
4
this
minutes,
drive
yeah.
already, and if they can push, if they can take a few more plays and punch this in, they're going to take another minute or 2 off, and that doesn't leave St. Bernard's much time to retaliate and score, assuming, of course, that Fortuna puts this in the end zone.
crowd at least now respectable, but one of the smaller crowds that we've seen this season.
Yeah, for a big game.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
And I don't know whether everybody's home. There's a lot of Dodger fans here in Fortuna that stayed home to watch the baseball game, or whether the 6:30 start caught people off guard. But a lot of St. Bernard's fans on the far side of the field, but actually a little bit disappointed with the crowd. You would have thought that there would have been a bigger crowd tonight, because the people that are not here are missing out on what has turned out to be a very exciting and well-played game.
I think crowd size does tend to deplete along with the temperature.
Yes.
So a lot of people.
There's a direct correlation.
Stuck a foot out the door and said, "I'll listen tonight."
3rd and a yard, and Claus this time on the option, keeps it himself, and he's in the end zone for the touchdown. So Claus, with his 4th touchdown of the game, puts the Huskies back in front, 48-42.
Yeah, just as importantly, took a lot of time off the clock, and the all-important PAT coming our way here. And we'll see what they dial up, and see if we can keep the kicker perfect for the night. Looks like they're going for 2.
And Fortuna might go for 2, and they are going for 2.
Stop
and
them.
It's Pontes, and then it's Claus. And
No, they
now
blew
they're
it
going to
dead.
blow the play dead.
Woo!
And Fortuna decides to go for 2, and St. Bernard stops them. We're going to keep it right here. So after Adelano was a perfect 6 for 6,
What is the running back?
Coach Benbow rolls the dice, goes for 2, and the St. Bernard's defense steps up to stop the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, well, they stopped the dive, but he didn't have the ball.
Huskies,
so
48,
I'm sure
Crusaders,
but
42.
once an inadvertent whistle blows, that's it. That's just tough luck. And unfortunately, the refs pretty much got faked out on that play and blew an early whistle, which is unfortunate. But that's the
Because
way it
Claus
goes.
kind of showed the ball. Claus kind of held up the ball as the play was still in progress
was
and said,
moving.
"Hey, I still have the football."
Yeah, he was still moving.
But like
the ball
you
in his
said,
hand.
the play had been blown dead.
But we don't know if he's going to get in the end zone anyway.
Right.
I mean, St. Bernard's was doing a good job of stuffing up the middle there, but the play was blown dead, and it shouldn't have been. So we'll see what happened. Well, we know what happened. That's the way it goes. So now it's the onus is on the St. Bernard's offense to come down and score here. They're down by 6. It's 2:30 in the game. Husky D has to hold on, get a stop. So we'll see what happens.
11 plays, 51 yards. Touchdown coming on an 8-yard run by Claus.
I will say this: at halftime, when I was talking to the officials, as I was leaving, they were reviewing the overtime rules
Number
in
8,
anticipation of the possibility that would happen. So maybe that was an omen.
Number 13, Luke Fairfield back to receive for the Crusaders.
I believe it's the Kansas plan that both teams will get the ball at the 25-yard line. If it comes to that. 48-42, Adelano set to kick off. It's going to be just kind of a squib kick that is going to be covered up by one of the up men for St. Bernard's. At about the 38-yard line. So St. Bernard's will have good field position, plenty of timeout, plenty of time remaining. 2.5 minutes and 2 timeouts. Crusaders are down by 6, 48 to 42.
You got to watch Tanner on the far side picking on the sophomore a little bit, and that's where I'm going to bet they want to throw the football.
7 possessions, 7 touchdowns in the second half.
What is it?
Penalty.
And we've got a flag down in the backfield. Patrick Hawsey with the penalty flag down.
Penalty marker prior to the snap.
Fortuna might have 12 players on the field. Just doing a quick count.
Substitution penalty.
Yep,
on the
illegal
Huskies.
substitution. Fortuna Patrick doing his job. And Fortuna had 12 players on the field.
Another 1st and 5. We've seen a number of those tonight.
1st and 5 at the 43. Trips to the left. There's Simone going in motion to the left. They're going to dump it out there with the flat. He's got some running room. He's got a couple blockers in front of him. And he's across the 45, and he's going to be close to a first down, out to about the 49-yard line.
Brought down by number 32, Adam Madera.
And they are going to move the chain.
First down.
A gain of 6 and a first down. So 1st and 10 for St. Bernard's at their own 49. And Omey's going to keep it on a quarterback draw, and he's got some running room. He's inside the 40. He's inside the 30, and he's finally dragged down at the 28-yard line. A 23-yard run by Omey, and a first down for the Crusaders.
Yeah, the middle opened up for Omey on that play for the first time in a while. I think Fortuna might be looking at a little bit more of a prevent defense package here, because they were playing a 5-man front earlier.
And now Fortuna head coach and defensive coordinator Mike Benbow is going to call a timeout to talk things over with his troops.
Yeah, what are you going to do? You run a 5-man front to stop Omey from running, and then you're a little depleted in the defensive backfield. And they've been, outplayed a little bit tonight by the receiving core of the Crusaders. So, it's one of those dilemmas. What do you do? And St. Bernard's scores real quick. Fortuna will get the ball back one more time, but if they can bleed the clock down and score and make a PAT, who knows? This is quite a barn burner.
Let's set the scene. That's kind of an understatement. Let's set the scene at Husky Field. 2:07 left in regulation. It's Fortuna 48, St. Bernard's 42. Huskies taking a timeout. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Crusaders at the Fortuna 28-yard line. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining.
1st and 10 for the Crusaders.
Game was tied 21-21 at halftime. 48-42. Huskies lead by 6. That's Simone in motion to the left, and now we've got a whistle and a flag down. And prior to the snap, it's going to be a procedure penalty against the St. Bernard's offense.
5-yard penalty.
So that will make it 1st and 15. Elsewhere tonight in the Big Four Conference, at Albee Stadium in Eureka, Eureka Loggers are hosting the Delmore Warriors. Simone gets the play call from head coach and offensive coordinator Matt Tomlin. Fortuna head coach Mike Benbow and defensive coordinator Mike Benbow kind of dialing things up defensively as Simone looking downfield for Hagler, and the pass is broken up. Good coverage on the play. Nice job by Bisonsony
on the pass.
Going stride for stride with Hagler, who actually kind of did a pretty good job of just kind of knocking the ball down.
Yeah. Yep, Hagler's, he's got a bit of a height mismatch on any of the defensive backs back there, and he's had the hot hand all night, both sides of the football, so don't be surprised if he gets targeted again once or twice here.
Gage matched up on Fairfield. That's Taylor on Thrapp, 2nd and 15. Omey back to pass. Here comes the blitz. He rolls to his right, looks downfield, and the pass is going to be caught by Thrapp, who steps out of bounds at the 24-yard line. As Thrapp gets 9 yards of the 15 on that 2nd down catch, so it's going to be 3rd and call at 6.
Pretty good pressure by the Huskies, but Thrapp ran a nice little out pattern, and
nice pitch and catch from Omey to Thrapp, making it a little bit more manageable, as they say. So it's going to be 3rd and 6 with 1:57 to go. Simone in the backfield with Omey on 3rd and 6. Omey's going to look downfield for Hagler, who's open, and he makes the catch before being tackled at the 2-yard line. So a nice back foot throw by Omey, who was under some pressure, and Hagler makes the catch, and it's going to be 1st and goal for the Crusaders at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, Hagler had a step and was running a little out.
Another nice throw by Omey.
Perfect pass, absolute perfect pass, and yeah.
And Coach Benbow's going to take another timeout. So Fortuna's going to take a timeout. We're going to keep it right here, Charlie. We're not going anywhere with 1:41 to play. Fortuna 48, St. Bernard's 42. It's going to be first and goal for the Crusaders at the 2-yard line. You've just got to score here. You don't want to get too cute or too fancy as far as being too concerned about that clock, Coach.
No. You put it in the end zone, and then you let your defense try and save the game. That's the way it has to go here. And, you know, sometimes you almost wonder if Fortuna shouldn't just let them in. You know, I mean, we've seen that happen in college ball. We've seen it happen in the NFL at times where your only shot, you let them in, you know, maybe try and stop PAT, but because if St. Bernard scores here and kicks a PAT, Fortuna's got to score and convert a 2-pointer to tie the game back up. So, and the clock is the #1 enemy of whoever's behind right now.
Now they've got that jumbo formation in the game, direct snap to Omey, and Omey's going to dive for the goal line, and he is going to be stopped just short.
Number 32, Adam Medeiros.
So it's going to be second and goal at the 1.
Medeiros did a great job that time getting around Omey's legs and keeping him from stretching any further than he did. So got past that big power formation where they have 3 blockers in the backfield in front of the quarterback.
It's going to be second and goal from the 1. The clock continues to move. St. Bernard's taking their time. Approaching the 1-minute mark. Fortuna with 1 timeout remaining. And now St. Bernard's is going to call a timeout. You talk about the ultimate chess match. That's exactly what we're experiencing tonight between these 2 teams, these 2 head coaches, and these 2 coaching staffs.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see him throw here.
Really?
That's
no way.
I'm calling it right here. Pass.
I mean, you've got 3 shots from the 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you take that chance as far as...
Well, you still have it's 4 down territory.
Right. But as far as just...
Yeah, well, you've got Fortuna all packed in, 11 guys in the box.
Okay.
And Fortuna's defense, they're big. They've been getting a lot of penetration all night long. Why not?
So St. Bernard's calling their first timeout. They have 2 remaining. I think these 2 programs kind of have a newfound respect for one another because what happened last year in the playoffs and what is happening tonight.
Yeah, we could see another 1-point game tonight, and we'll see what happens here. But
so it's second and goal from the 1. Omey out of the shotgun. They've got the jumbo formation to the right. They give it to Omey, and he is going to be stopped just short of the goal line.
We're going to have 3rd down.
Okay. So it's going to be 3rd and goal as the clock continues to run. 40 seconds and counting. They might throw it here.
3rd and goal for the Crusaders.
At some point, you might want to play action pass here because the Huskies are tough up front, and they've stuffed it twice now. Matter of fact, he might have lost a half a yard on that play.
Roll him out.
Coach Tomlin now will take another timeout with 23 seconds remaining. Looks like the ball is spotted right at the 1-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 1. Both teams with 1 timeout remaining. As St. Bernard's tries to get it into the end zone to tie the game, and meanwhile the Huskies try to come up with the goal line stand.
Yeah, we're going to see what happens here because you know, if the Crusaders score, there's almost no time left on the clock. So this is almost do or die goal line stand for the Huskies here, and we'll see what happens. Crusaders have to dial up the right play here. They're 0 for 2 on their power bunch, power play. Yeah, we'll see.
Husky fans come to life with 23 seconds remaining. It's going to be 3rd and goal for the Crusaders from the 1-yard line.
3rd and goal.
Once again, that jumbo formation with Simone and Hagler and Fanoni. There's only a quarterback. Direct snap to Omey. He's going to run straight up the middle. To the end zone. So instead of running behind the jumbo to the right,
the other side, yep.
That's Luke Omey. Will's dad in the background. celebrating that touchdown, and we're tied at 48 with 20 seconds to go. Keep in mind that Thrapp's last extra point hit the left upright.
Yep.
But was able to go through.
Yep. Got a nice bounce.
So Chase will snap, Omey will hold, Thrapp with the extra point, snap spot. It's blocked! It's blocked! It's blocked by the Huskies!
That is the second block PAT tonight, and they've come close 2 other times.
I think it was blocked by number 67, the big fella, Corey Johnson.
Right up
6'6", 290, blocked the extra point.
Wow.
Fortuna Huskies 48, Crusaders 48.
We're looking at some real potential for overtime unless the Huskies can pull off some kind of a miracle here or something weird happens. We'll see. But, wow. 96 points on the board. 20 seconds left to play.
So the Crusaders answer. 10 plays, 62 yards, a 1-yard touchdown run by Omey. But the extra point by Thrapp was blocked. Second time tonight that Fortuna has blocked an extra point.
What's that?
So Omey with the touchdown. His 13th touchdown of the season.
You guys all glad you came?
Holy crap! I need to. You got any heart medicine on you? Because I need some right now.
Dave Settle stopping by to say hi. Coach Tapetus, his father-in-law. So 48-48, Coach, with 20 seconds to go. Do you onside or do you just kick it downfield?
Well, I think that with
Crusaders number 23.
I'm guessing he's going to onside. He's been doing it all year, so I'm not sure why this one will be any different. But
31, Gray Boyd.
we'll see. The deep kick will take more time off the clock, but
Brewers lead the Dodgers 7-2 in the ninth. Here's Thrapp's kick, and he's going to kick it away. And it's going to be taken at the 18-yard line by Boyd. Boyd tries to find some running room when he does.
Number
He's across
31,
the 35,
Gray
he's
Boyd
across
on
the
return
40,
for the
and out to the
Huskies,
45-yard line
45-yard
with
line
14 seconds remaining. And keep in mind, Fortuna has 1 timeout left. And Claus has a big time arm.
yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm sure St. Bernard's will drop back into some kind of umbrella coverage
First and
here.
10 Huskies ball is spotted at their
They've got
45-yard
the
line.
possibility of running probably 2 plays here. I'd be hard pressed to do any more than that, but you never know.
And keep in mind, Adelano's got a very live leg. He's a perfect 6 for 6 in extra points, a member of the soccer team.
You get a deep play here, they may have a chance at a kick. We'll see.
Watch the
So
run.
Claus this time out of the shotgun, wants to throw. He's going to set up, has some time, looks downfield across the middle, and the pass is incomplete at about the 30-yard line.
Number 21, Joey
Looked like the pass was intended for Pontes, who was well covered on the play, and 8 seconds remaining. 48-48. 8 seconds left in regulation. 2nd and 10 for the Huskies. Omey scored on a 1-yard run, and now Claus is just going to go ahead and take a knee. So a very anticlimactic ending to the game.
Well, you don't want to throw a pick 6 here or anything like that. So, probably smart. No one's made much of a defensive play on for either sideline in the recent memory.
Well, that's the first time. The only time, the first 8 drives, 8 possessions, 8 touchdowns up until Fortuna ends up running out the clock at the end of regulation.
Yeah, that's the first
so let's go
possession
over those
without a
overtime
score.
rules.
Yeah, well.
And let's pay attention to the coin toss.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. The head coach will be invited out with the captain. They get, I think, 1 timeout per possession, but no timeouts carry over. And I believe they're going to get a chance, each get a chance from the 20.
So the 20 or the 25? I think it's the 25.
You
The
probably
Kansas
know
plant.
better than
Well,
me.
it's been a while since I've seen
I
it
haven't
over
seen one in
time.
a long time in high school.
Have you been
either,
involved
so.
in one as a coach? At the varsity level? Do you remember?
No,
in
the
your
last
9
time
years?
I saw a tie, it was on the JV level and they had no overtime.
Yes. No.
So,
Yes, they
have
will.
not
They
seen
will.
one
Yes.
in,
Touchdown doesn't end it.
No, exactly. Both teams, not like the NFL. Both teams will get one possession.
Yeah. The last time I saw one was Fort Bragg at Ferndale.
Right.
And I think that was my son Ben's senior year. And
So they only get one shot at it.
Ferndale got the ball first. They scored, kicked the extra point, and then Fort Bragg scored and went for 2 in the win.
They got
With
it,
Jack
yeah.
Boyer, and they went on and won a section championship over Justin Sienna.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
that
Jack
was-
Boyer's son was the quarterback on that
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
I think that was the last section championship that Coach Boyer won down at Fort Bragg, and that would have been what year?
That would have been 2010 season.
Okay, because Ben graduated 2011.
Yes.
Ben
I
happened to
wait,
win-
wait, I take that back. 2009 season, Ben's junior year.
Ben's junior year.
Yeah, because that was a pretty good team with Sarvinsky and
So let's get back to what we're talking about here. You want to be on defense first, right, Coach? Ideally,
I would think so.
I think that's
yes.
kind of what
they're talking that over on each sideline. So whoever wins the coin toss,
because
never
you
surprise
want to
me
know
defer.
what you have to do to win.
Right.
Because
And-
normally, whether it's at the high school level or at the college level, and it's a little bit different at the NFL level, you want to be on defense first because you want to be in a situation where you have an idea of what you have to do in order to win the game.
A field goal is an option
Right.
or not, and so on. So I would argue that you're going to see someone's going to have to make a play on defense here, and that's going to be the difference in this overtime.
And I think what they refer to this as the Kansas plan as far as what happens at the high school level when you're talking about overtime. And I think it's very ironic that when you talk to the officials at halftime, because the score was tied at halftime 21-21, they were actually going over the overtime
They
rules,
were having a discussion
thinking
about
that there
that.
might
Yeah.
be a chance that we see OT tonight.
Yeah, Roland Trayer, and he answered my question on the procedure call for the punt play, and then right away he said, "Hey, let's review overtime. This could go that direction." So certainly they did.
So the captains are going to come out the midfield just like we have the coin toss at the start of the game.
Captains are headed out to the field. Number 25.
So both
Casey
teams will
Gordon.
get the ball
Number
in
75,
overtime,
Connor
unlike the
Chase
NFL that
for
if you
the
score a
Crusaders.
touchdown in the
Number 11,
NFL, the
Zach
game's
Claus.
over.
Number 21, Joey Pontes. Number 32, Adam Medeiros.
So you've got
Number
Claus,
52,
Pontes,
Shane
Medeiros, and
Cato for the
Cato out
Huskies.
there for the Crusaders, or for the Huskies. So Thrapp, the extra point is blocked.
Again, two of them
Yes.
tonight. Yeah.
I don't know if everybody
Maybe you go for 2. I mean, if St. Bernard scores, do they think about maybe going for 2 after having a couple of extra points blocked? Because it was ironic that Fortuna had gone for 2 when they had taken the lead 48-42,
And
which
their
kind
kicker
of
was perfect all night.
exactly, which I think surprised everyone.
Right. And an inadvertent whistle.
Yes.
That was just a completely bizarre set of circumstances there.
So the officials talking things over with the captains. That's the referee, Roland Treherne, the umpire, Ed Matthews, the linesman, Chris Peterson, the line judge, Jalen Lewis, and the back judge, Patrick Haase. Tonight's game coming your way on the radio dial at 95.1 Mix FM, 106.7 The Edge FM, on the HD radio dial at 95.1-1 Mix HD, 95.1-2 The Edge HD. We're streaming on Facebook at 95.1 Mix FM on Facebook, 106.7 The Edge on Facebook, and also streaming at www.951mixfm.com and www.1067theedgefm.com. And if you want to watch the video, you can go into the St. Bernard's Academy Facebook page, click on to the YouTube link, and then go to YouTube, and
asking us.
Dr. Luke Omey, along with Chuck Petrucia, nice enough to set up their equipment like they've been doing all season long to show the video of tonight's game, and then they also are getting the audio feed from us. So we're trying to figure out if there's some confusion here. Now they're going to move people around.
Boy, I didn't see who won the toss. They're just saying St.
So
Bernard's is
the
going to have the ball
Crusaders will
first.
start the overtime.
Okay, they're going to go from our left to our right.
Both teams will have an
It
opportunity
looked to me
possess
like
the ball on offense.
they were asking St. Bernard's which end zone they wanted to play in.
Okay.
Which tells me that maybe Fortuna won the toss and deferred.
Okay.
But I don't know that for sure.
That's
But
why
that's
we needed
what it
a
looked like
sideline
from up here.
reporter
Yeah.
down there on the field, coach.
Yeah, let's see what the heck was going on.
Let's see if we have a
So-
sideline reporter in our budget.
Because I saw the St. Bernard's captain pointing to this end zone. And usually whoever loses the coin toss gets to choose where they want to defend. So,
You know, my mistake, they're going to put the ball at the 10-yard line. I think in college they put it at the 25. And now what's Ed Matthews doing? He's walking to the 5.
It's not very far.
now he's walking back to the 10. He just wanted to see what the 5 looked like. and now
I
he's
think they put it at the 10. Exactly.
have,
And that's why they call it the
10-yard
Kansas
line.
plan.
Yeah.
My mistake. I stand corrected. In college, they put it at the 25.
Right. And you can get first downs and
Right.
yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's at the 10-yard line. Like I said, it's been a while. I'm trying, and I think you're right. That was the last time. So what year did you say that?
I would have been the 09 season.
The 09 season.
Ferndale,
Okay.
and, yeah. I believe that Silas
Okay,
Sarvinsky was a senior that
so
year.
St. Bernard's is going to have the ball first.
First and goal.
They will have first and goal at the 10.
10-yard line.
No clock.
No clock, no down markers. Omey at quarterback, that's Hagler in motion. They're going to give it to Hagler. He's going to cut back at the 5. He's going to dive to the 4. So on first down, they run that fly sweep to Hagler, and he picks up 6 yards before being tackled by Bassonzi.
Well, that's the guy I want to give the ball to right now because Hagler's had a huge game both sides of the football, and he's going to get his opportunities here. So with the spy and the Fortuna defense kind of stopping Omey's running ability tonight a little bit.
Second and goal at the 4. Looking across the middle of the passes, complete to Thrapp. So they fake the fly sweep this time to Fairfield, and Omey with his 7th touchdown pass of the game connects with Thrapp for the 3rd time to make it 54-48. Now if you're the Crusaders, do you attempt the extra point or do you maybe go for 2?
Well, I'll tell you, on 4 of the PAT kicking attempts, Fortuna's been right on the kicker. They blocked 2 and almost blocked 2 others. I think I'm going for 2. You know, that's what I'm going to do. We'll see. It looks like they are.
And they will go for 2.
Crusaders are lining up for a 2-point conversion.
So Omey at quarterback, that's Hagler in motion to the right. They're going to give it to Hagler. He needs a block. Hagler now with the second effort is into the end zone for a 2-point conversion. So Hagler doing a nice job keeping his legs moving. Gets the 2-point conversion to make the score 56-48.
Huge conversion there, and yep, the second effort, the push, the big push in the scrum, and over the line he went. So
Keeps going.
Fortuna now needs to score and get a 2-point conversion to force a second overtime.
Where's the score? How many times they go?
They'll just keep going.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 56-48.
Oh, okay. So you can't tie.
It could be a second overtime. No, the game cannot end at a tie.
Okay, that's
yes.
what I was wondering.
Everybody's kind of sorting things out up here, which is great. I'm trying to remember. I've been doing Fortuna games for a long time, and off the top of my head, and granted, you know, my mind's not as good. Yeah, I have my senior moments now. But I'm trying to remember the last time Fortuna was involved in an overtime game. But 56-48. Omey to Thrapp, and then the run by
The
Hagler.
Huskies will now possess the ball at the 10-yard line.
So Fortuna's still going to have the ball. They're going to get it at the 10-yard line.
Run ball.
At the east end of the field. So Fortuna needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to force a second overtime. They're going to pitch it to Pontes, and Pontes is going to get about half of the necessary yardage on that first down run, a gain of 5 to the 5.
By Patricia.
The double wing toss play, which has been pretty effective for him today. And
Second and goal for the Huskies.
got a nice pickup there. Looks like got 4.5 yards there.
They're going right up the middle, man. They're not going to.
Second and goal from the 5. They're going to give it now to, I think Claus keeps it himself. And he's going to carry the ball to about the 3.
Yeah, kind of fell forward. So he went a pretty good jump and making contact with him, but he spun and fell in the right direction for a gain of about 2 yards there.
So it's going to be 3rd and goal from just inside the 4. Claus at quarterback with Medeiros in the backfield. This time they're going to pitch it to Pontes, and Pontes is going to dive for the goal line, and he is stopped just short. So it's going to be 4th and goal at the 1.
We'll bring up 4th and inches for the Huskies.
Yeah. The back end of the football's on the 1, so you're talking about half a yard here.
The Fortuna offense breaks the huddle. Claus under center. 4th and 1. They're going to hand the ball off to Lorenzo, who's into the end zone for the touchdown. There might have been some movement up front, and there was not a penalty flag ball.
Well, there's no might have been about it. The back definitely flinched, and there was no flag. I'm a little surprised by that. Fortuna caught a huge break. I'm sure they're counting their blessings right now, but that was offside. That was a procedural call that did not get called. So lucky break for the Huskies there. Now they got to score a 2-point conversion.
So Lorenzo scores the touchdown to make it a 2-point game. And St. Bernard's is going to call a timeout. 56-54. Fortuna needs a 2-point conversion to force a second overtime, and there was definitely movement up front.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, it wasn't up front; it was a back, and he was out there for everybody to see, and it was pretty obvious flinch going on there that went uncalled.
So Lorenzo with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year. Omey with 7 touchdown passes tonight and 1 rushing touchdown. And now he needs his defense to stop the Huskies, or we're going to go to a second overtime.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? All spectators need to be on the lane number 5 on the track. So on that far side end zone, please back up to lane number 5.
Little crowd control taking
NCS
place
rules,
right now.
please back up to lane number 5 on the far side of the track.
I don't know if that's in the NCS handbook at lane number 5. Bob Chapman directing traffic. Claus under center now. We got some movement along the line of scrimmage. And I think that St. Bernard jumped offsides.
Well, that's half the distance. So
offsides on the Crusaders.
That makes it a little bit different situation.
Which is a nice coaching move and a nice heads-up move by offensive coordinator Clint Dewey and the Fortuna offensive coaching staff. It's like, okay, let's make this a little bit easier.
Yeah. And this is the 4th, 5th time tonight somebody's been drawn off sides. At least the 3rd time for St. Bernard's and once or twice for the Huskies as well.
Claus under center. Claus loses the football is and Fortuna's going to be stopped short. So the St. Bernard's Crusaders step up on a 2-point conversion. Looked like there was a problem with the exchange.
Yep.
Looked like Claus wanted to hand the ball off.
Well, the
he
dive
decided
was taken
to
away.
keep it.
There was some penetration by the Crusaders there, and yeah, ball ended up on the ground.
Hey, little
And a big win for head coach Matt Tomlin and the St. Bernard's Crusaders as they edge the Fortuna Huskies by a final score of 56-54 as they stop the Huskies on a 2-point conversion drive.
Yep, 110 points tonight, all told, and huge plays on both sides offensively. And there, you know, we saw a defensive play, and you add in a little bit of a miscue, a mishandling of the exchange of the football on the dive play, and win for St. Bernard's, well deserved and hard fought for.
And this is a game that people will talk about, just like last year's. You don't have, you know, the same significance. Last year's game was a semifinal game in the North Coast Section Division 4 playoffs, but this game every bit as exciting, every bit as entertaining as last year's playoff game, and even then some.